right.
Oh, we got numbers. There's numbers everywhere. There's numbers.
All right, guys, we're rolling with episode number 416 of the ClevelandMoto podcast. Light them up, boys. Come on, Chris, you can do it, buddy. It's a screw top? Oh, yeah.
Here's your teeth.
You know, this is one of those ones that I think they said this one was Kid Rock approved. Bud Light. Oh, this is a Bud Light Lime. This might be vintage, you know?
Well, that was the first gay beer.
You didn't need a test for that one. Oh, look at the rust around that thing. Oh, man. That thing's been in the cooler for a while.
Mid-Ohio 2016.
There's little bubbles in it. It's not the worst. Mine doesn't have to add. The older,
See, it's there, but it's going to crackle.
the older mine is, the better.
I don't know why it's doing that. All right. Well, remember, we got to replace that cable.
Okay.
Remember that. 4.
That's the last of that Iowa Ridge bourbon they brought us.
Oh, nice.
It's really good.
Oh, yeah.
That's that. The guy said it's bourbon from Iowa. It's
no such thing.
It's delicious.
Shit.
And you know what? Nobody else has to drink it because I emptied the bottle in here.
At least one good thing comes from Iowa.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to owe you that $50 because,
Iowa.
he lived.
He did live.
I
He
fucking
lived.
bet against it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in our podcast tonight, that Chris did make it here, so he's alive and well and not unshaved. So to my immediate left is...
Chris Smith.
To his immediate left.
Steve Sleepy.
To his immediate left.
Tom Pennington.
To his immediate left.
Parker Zamorelli.
And to his immediate left.
Steve Hoffert.
Oh, and routine players of this game will notice that John McElfresh has been replaced by a younger, thinner, better-looking version.
But to John's credit, he is spending time with Grandma.
He is.
Yes. So
They're doing a
it's her
yearly oil change.
yes, it's her birthday today, I think, is what's going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that is it. I'm all out of grandma. I'm all out of grandmas. I'm all out of moms and dads. Free man.
Free man.
Free man. That's it. Very, like, now on Christmas, we don't have to decide which way we're going.
No.
Are we going to? No, we're just going the fuck out of town.
See, I have all the family still, and I still don't go anywhere.
There you go.
I think I have COVID.
I'm just not feeling so good. Yeah. I got a dog in my lap. Can't move. So a couple of updates. Sleepy's now, you got a horse.
Well, a dog horse, yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
Dog horse.
That dog is, okay, I'm going to play Karnak.
Yeah.
142 pounds.
She could be soon. She's 135 now, but they expect her to be 165 before she's done.
That is a Great Dane.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
My wife likes to collect animals, apparently, but this one's got a really cool story. Well, not a cool, it was an awful story. And if they would tell me who this person is, I'd probably go and do bad things to him.
Right. Yeah.
Some lady in an area bought the dog, 2 dogs actually, to try to breed them, but she didn't realize that 6-month-old dogs don't breed.
No.
So she was nice enough that, remember in December when it was -20?
Yeah.
She decided that's when she should kick the dogs out and throw them out into the fucking air.
Pretty rotten, yeah.
So for 3 weeks, the dogs were running around and stuff, and they finally trapped them and then did all the things, and then we adopted her.
There you go. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Well, here's what I noticed. 2 things that are happening real quick. The dog is looking very happy, and you're walking.
Oh yeah. 2 days. I've probably done 5 miles a day. I think I've dropped 11 pounds in 2.5 weeks.
Since you got the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it though. It's kind of cool. She's cool to walk.
Legs on the dog.
And on the bright side, your dog's got good taste because she doesn't like McElfresh.
No, she bites.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
Our special guest tonight is Parker Zamorelli. So Parker, just give us the down and dirty about the bikes that you enjoy working on.
I like BMWs. My first BMW was a K75. I bought it because it was cheap, and I wanted something to get back and forth to work. And then it became an aggressive addiction, and now I have like 4 of them.
An aggressive
None of us understand that at all.
An aggressive addiction. I meant to save money by buying a motorcycle, and it was the exact opposite.
Yeah, there's one of our friends, Stan, has a really good flow chart that says if you're buying a motorcycle to save money on gas, this is the break-even point, and it's like 300,000 miles. Like it is
show me the chart.
an impossible number.
gonna-
Yeah, it is an absolute impossible number that you cannot put enough miles on to actually save gas. Yeah, so very cool. So if you are interested, Zamorelli Moto, and tell them how to spell that, Parker.
Zamarelli.
Yeah. So picked last for everything your whole fucking life.
Yeah,
Right?
literally everything.
It's just that when you line the kids up alphabetically,
Sometimes they flipped it for me, so I was first. But
that's very progressive.
yeah,
Yeah, as a W kid, Waters, I was, a couple away
Yeah.
from the end of the line.
The middle guys get screwed.
Both ways.
I disagree. I disagree.
They're always in the middle.
No.
They never go first. They
but
never
you know
go
what?
last.
All the guys named Martin, all the guys named, Paulson, they got chocolate milk.
Yep.
I never got chocolate milk. Ever. Yeah. By the time it got to me, it was white milk and had been there for a while. Yeah. That's exactly right.
Sounds like an ordering problem by the school.
You know what?
Like an inventory issue.
You know what sucks? So there was a kid named something Single, and so my name's Cinch, and we were always together, and I fucking hated him. So every time they'd call an assembly, I'd have to stand next to this asshole. We'd just be standing there poking each other the whole time about fighting. So I hated that.
I was a public
That's
school
a great
kid.
story. Thanks for sharing that one.
I would like to. Thank you.
I was a public school kid, so it was Warner Waters weeks for my entire school career. I know what the back of Tony Warner's head looked like from like fifth grade. And I also, Nicole Weeks, who sat behind me, she was behind me perpetually until she got pregnant. And then she was then she was gone for a little while.
Couldn't fit behind you.
They made a cutout desk for her. It was pretty progressive school, like I said. But yeah, very cool. But you also got a Vespa or an Allstate. We should clarify.
I have an Allstate.
Yeah,
It's my daily. I ride it the most, actually. I live in Lakewood, which is just a town close to here, and
Right.
it's perfect transportation for there.
it is the perfect
Phenomenal.
Lakewood. And now you're still 8 inches on your bike. It's
Yeah, it's completely.
stock as stock
Yeah,
can
I
be.
painted my name on the side of it, but I did use drywall paint, so it'll come off easy.
But it does look perfectly patinaed, though.
Yes.
And that's the nice thing about choosing that. Because when I see you at events and I see that Allstate, I'm like, God damn it, that thing looks
Oh,
good.
it's beat to hell, dude. It's
It
not
is
nice,
perfect
but it's
patina.
not rusted out. So
No, it's-
and it stops most of the time, so it works.
Vespa, Allstate 8-inch wheel bikes are known for their lack of brakes.
Yeah, I don't even use the front
No.
because it starts pogo sticking, and yeah, it's sketch.
The first time I told somebody, I was like, yeah, it's a pogo stick. And they go, what? I said, it's a pogo stick. If you attempt to use the front brake, it will just engage, re-engage, engage, re-engage.
Mm-hmm.
And it puts you into the death hop of the little scooter. But it's super fun, super cool. Also, you built a beautiful BMW that the first time I saw the bike that you trotted out to AMA Vintage Motorcycle Days.
Yeah, yes.
Tell folks about that.
It's a BMW R100
Mm-hmm.
that I bought for $500. I drove all the way to Kentucky to get it, and it was wrecked, aggressively wrecked. Twisted forks, like immobile. And it was in this guy's backyard for like 25 years, and it had a tree growing through the swing arm. And I dragged my girlfriend at the time with me, and she was like, why the fuck are you buying this piece of shit? And I was like, I have a vision. Well, I had to buy a new frame, new wheels. The tank was riddled with holes. It's the same tank, though. I had it all welded
Oh,
up.
you did weld it up?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought for sure
cut
you
in
would
half.
replace that.
Cut in half, welded all the spots, like welded new strips along
Yeah.
the bottom, and then welded the bungs back in.
Yep.
It's a great tank. It doesn't leak. I coated the inside.
I was
'cause-
going to say, did you do the welding on it?
No.
Every time I've ever welded one, it leaks more after I've welded it than
Well,
before
I
I
used,
welded it.
what's that stuff, that red coat?
Red coat.
Yeah, I think Dime City Cycles sells it, and plug. But
It's absolutely fine, yeah.
that's where I got it, and it worked out. It works really good. The gas came through red for a while, but that's gone now.
Yeah.
But
That's just seasoning.
rebuilt the motor, and
Yeah, it's
came
really,
together.
it's a beautiful bike, and it is just a gorgeous machine. And what I think is really fun about it is that look that we always joke, everything looks better with knobbies on it.
oh yeah, they're terrible though because it throws fucking rocks right into my face.
At least you have a rear fender though.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Those
rear
styles,
fender.
nobody ever puts rear fenders on them. Like, you don't really ride this, do you?
You have a front fender too, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
that's
got a front.
yeah.
It doesn't do much. Neither of them do.
Now it does look like your rear fender might in fact be a BMW part.
No, it's lowbrow.
Oh, it is lowbrow?
Lowbrow.
Okay,
Both of them are lowbrow.
Because I was wondering if that was a
No, that's their like.
relocated rear fender.
No.
Okay.
No, that's the BMW fenders. Like massive.
Oh, yeah.
Like you could fit a truck tire under that thing. No, it's like a Stingray something fender from Lowbrow.
Because that was one of the tricks we'd always do with the CB750 fenders is we just cut 4 inches out of them and move them forward.
Yeah.
And then they actually look pretty decent. Yeah.
No, that's a Lowbrow fender. It's really nice.
It's a really, really good build. The closer you get to it, it's one of those motorcycles where if you look at it for any period of time, you will start to pick up on extremely small details. Like the 396 welds on your header pipes.
I didn't do that.
I hope not. Yeah.
No.
You're not old enough to have done that.
No, God, no. That's the first exhaust that company ever made for an airhead. And it came from the UK. Mad Exhaust is the company.
Yep.
It's phenomenal exhaust.
It's amazing.
It's loud as fuck, but it's
is.
really great.
Yeah.
The workmanship's great.
And what my favorite thing when I saw the bike for the very first time, when you brought it out and I took a look at it, I was fascinated because I was like, well, that just proves you don't need to own a tubing bender. Mm-hmm. You just need to take 1,000 slices.
They're called pie cuts or whatever. I
they're pie
tried to
cuts.
do it.
Yeah.
The company I used to work for had a chop saw for pipe or steel or whatever.
Yeah.
And I started cutting and cutting and cutting. And then I 3D printed like a jig that you can snap them together.
Yeah.
And they have notches on them. So you can like
can
get
rotate
the degrees
'em.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So you can kind of build an exhaust in a way before you fabricate it. And I didn't use any of that, and I just ended up buying one because it was cheaper.
I built my own 2-stroke expansion chamber that way.
Yeah.
And, a series of cones and put the thing together, spent about 21 hours on it. Terrible looking welds. But again, the idea was I had read the A. Graham Bell book about, expansion chamber theory, done all my math for where I wanted the pipe to hit with the motor I had, put the whole thing together and realized the only place that my welds looked bad or worse than the part you could see was the part you couldn't see. And realized that my dynamic efficiency on the inside of the pipe was not great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I bought one. So that was
you were creating turbulence with
Yes.
each bad weld.
yes. With each bad weld. That's the nicest
And
way to put
isn't
it.
build up, grab onto the inner welds, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what it is.
I bet that thing's riddled with inner. I don't know, but maybe you'll never know.
Well, it's not a 2-stroke though. Yeah.
But
Go to a proctologist. They'll stick a tube up there and check it out.
I'll bet you it's pretty good.
Just eyeballing it from here, you know what I kind of
looks
appreciate
fantastic.
is that you didn't do like clip-ons or something. Like, it looks rideable. Like you could actually be comfortable.
Oh, it's
with
actually
the bars
super comfortable.
Yeah, that's
Um,
the because like every time you see a kind of a brat build or a cafe build, these dudes always slap like clip-ons like 6 inches down the front forks, and I'm
Well-
like, do you ride this? Because you don't.
No, never.
if you scroll down, Phil, I had my K75's a cafe, and I learned a lot of lessons.
Now that's where I was hoping
So-
we could talk about that.
Yeah, this bike.
Because not too many people do a cafe on a brick.
This bike is a backbreaker, my friend. I can't ride this for more than an hour.
And it does have a really, really, let's just say, aggressively violent seating position.
Yeah, you lay on it
Yep.
basically.
Yeah, it looks like a torture rack.
Yes.
Chris can see it better
clip-ons
that way.
on that.
Yeah.
And I don't love it, but it looks cool. I mean,
It looks
that's
fantastic.
what I was going for
Yeah.
at the time before I built that bike, and I didn't even know how to ride yet. So
Get out of here.
yeah, that was my first bike, and I had never. I bought it.
This is the first time I saw that bike, was at that particular motorcycle show.
Yeah,
And-
I bought this bike, and it was an RT. So this really short guy at work drove it, and they called it the Green Goblin, but he would fall off of it because he couldn't touch the ground. But anyways, I bought it from him, and then I didn't know how to ride it, so he had to ride it to my house.
Okay. All right.
And I'm like, all right, let's just strip this thing down. And I just like Googled K75 because somebody's like, oh, he's got it for sale. And I found this like cult of people that like cafe things.
Yeah.
And then I learned cafe culture, and then here we have it.
When I had my store in Mentor, I had two guys that both had, one was a cafe K75 and the other one was a Mad Max K100. And it was cool because he'd kept the original fairing, but trimmed it down. So he'd kept his touring fairing on it, but made it tight. And then after the back of the gas tank, which is stock, then everything was clown car after that. So everything after that point where the gas tank would normally interact with the seat, from that point back was Mad Max. And it was beautiful. I mean, it was my favorite ever adulteration of a K100 by far.
Wow.
And it was a beautiful, beautiful patinaed out looking cool bike. But again, as Tom says, the K75. When BMW said, this is it. We don't need to go any further than
This
that.
is the last bike you'll ever own.
That thing has 107,000 miles.
Oh,
on
it's
it.
barely broken in.
It runs great.
It was such an innovation when it came out. It was such a wild thing when it came out, that brick motor and the idea of sticking the cylinders, literally laying a motor on its side.
What's the M30 motor? They just lopped a cylinder
Just
off
took
of
a
it, put it
cylinder.
sideways?
Exactly.
No, we build car motor, we build motorcycle motor. Same thing.
It's fine. It's only pretty from one side. From one side, it's pretty. From the other side, you're like, where's the rest of the motorcycle engine? But it's a really, again, for being your first motorcycle you're a child in the picture, Parker.
That's like 7 years ago.
Yeah, that is truly, you are a child in that photo. So do you have any projects you're working on right now?
Well, I have a 750 Triumph Tiger that I bought from a welder that I used to work with. And
I noticed that you've been spending some time at Lowbrow or at Skidmark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this motor currently is in the state where, like, if you saw it on buy sell, it would be in a million parts, and somebody took it apart and didn't know how to put it back together. That's where we're at right now with it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It ran great, but you never know. So I tend to be too ambitious with things like this, and I'm like, I'll take it apart and then just stumble my way back through it. And sometimes it works out.
And honestly, with this particular motor, that's not the worst thing to do.
No.
And with that particular motor, it's not going to matter anyway.
No, it's not. And I absolutely completely agree that if you have an unknown entity Triumph motor of this era, taking it all apart is a really smart thing to do.
Honestly, the inside's great.
Yep.
It had great compression. It ran really strong first kick anyways.
Yep.
But the guy that had it before me, he got drug tested and failed. And so he was off for 2 weeks and he needed some money. So he sold it to me for $600. A running Triumph. Now,
A running Triumph
it doesn't have a
motorcycle.
title, but
$600 and some clean urine.
yeah. Yes.
Hey, don't judge people. Don't judge.
Now,
Why
Parker,
are you guys
that was a
judging?
nice
And which
trade.
was more useful?
Parker,
judge.
before you leave with my motorcycle, I'm going to need about a pint of your finest.
Yeah.
That is strikingly a very Triumph conversation. Yeah, I failed a drug test, so I gotta get some money together, and I'm gonna sell this, and it doesn't have a title, but it's okay, it runs fine.
Well, like he bought this thing or
Yeah.
inherited it or something. He knew nothing about it. And he goes, I can't get it to run. I'm like, well, I think those are a positive ground.
Yeah, they are.
And that was the problem. So
Oh, no.
so he didn't know.
Yeah.
And I mean, this thing has 4 wires on it.
A negative ground is the world's greatest kill switch.
Well, it still ran after
Yeah.
the fact, so I guess you got lucky. But yeah, I bought it for $600. There's a picture of it like together still, and it's like somebody that had a Harley just threw up all their spare parts on it.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's really. I took the tassels off the handlebars. That was the first.
To be fair,
That was
I'll admit that's a good buy no matter where you're at.
$600. It ran. It didn't leak that bad, I guess. So I was like, I'll just strip it down.
Right.
I want to make a nice skinny bobber out of it.
Yeah.
Shorten the forks to like not 6 inches over.
Yeah,
and,
right.
That's where we're at with it right now.
Well, you respect this.
Is that a Honda Shadow front end? No.
No, that's actually a
That's just-
Triumph front end.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I think
it's
that's a
just raised.
BSA wheel. Yeah. And the weird thing about this
Right.
bike is the triple trees, like the tops, are like staggered.
They're staggered.
So it's not raked, but it provides a rake.
Yeah.
It's super weird.
Yep.
But
Real
I
I
kind of dig it with the shorter tubes. It gives it a nice
If you
stance.
wanted to give the digger style,
Yeah.
so that digger style, the offset with the triples was a good way to get there, and those are 6 over.
Yeah.
So you've got
like
6
those are
over
gone
forks
now.
on it.
I got
Yeah.
normal forks.
Okay, cool.
Those tubes were pitted
Yeah.
and shit anyway. So
Yeah.
now the stance is correct now.
Cool. That's pretty neat. And you're keeping the rigid. You're keeping
Yeah, I'm
all
just gonna
that.
keep it a hardtail.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know. I just
Are you
bought
going to go
this.
to a chubbier back tire like a?
Well,
Harley
that's
wheel?
a
It
that's
looks
a
like-
that is a Harley.
I was going to say
wheel.
it looks like a Sportster wheel
I
on the
think
back.
it's a 16-inch Harley wheel.
Yeah, that's what it looks like
with
back
a
there.
Triumph hub, which is kind of weird. I went back to the 18-inch Triumph wheel.
Yep. Yeah.
And then a conical front hub. I picked one of those up at I think Mid Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
that's a fun little build, man. That's
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have no vision
great.
for it whatsoever, and that's kind of usually how it goes.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, and for $600,
Yeah, I'm like, whatever. I could rat this, and I'd still be winning.
for $600 and some pee, you're good.
Yeah.
Just don't ask a lot of questions.
Oh, there was one downfall. There's no title. So, but like,
We know people.
We know people.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm actually moving to Tennessee, so I'm the person now.
What are you really?
Yeah.
Oh my
We're
God,
moving to
Joe
Nashville.
Casola, look out! You got competition coming on the title
Don't
front.
call me.
Well, see, yeah, exactly. How do you spell that again? Our friend is an exquisite motor builder, an exquisite motorcycle builder. His name's Joe Casola. He runs Saints Cycle down there. And he does, not just does he do beautiful restorations, he'll build your motor to better than factory standards, including the correct finishes, vintage motors. The guy's amazing. He's fantastic. He actually did that, the race across, the gentleman's race across America, the old 100-year-old motorcycles. He's been on a crew like where they're making pistons on the side of the road for these old motorcycles. Joe's that level of a mechanic. But lately, Joe's been supplementing his income, getting people titles through the magic of Tennessee.
Ah, nice.
So it's like, I don't remember my bike going to Tennessee, but the title says it's been there.
To do that race, I remember when me and John and everybody went down to watch it. We recorded it when they came to over here in Ohio.
Yeah.
I asked the guy, so where do you get spare parts? And they just started laughing.
Yeah, they just laugh. Yeah. You gotta self-machine those.
Yeah.
Why do you have a picture of you sitting on a topper?
That was at Glory Days, and this guy was trying to sell it for $7,000. And I was like, can I sit on it? Because it kind of looks neat.
Yeah.
And that's the photo. I didn't buy it. Just fuck that. But yeah.
Yeah, we had one of our customers did, and I think this could be his bike, but yeah, super nice guy, but I've had my experience with Harley toppers.
You can see his titties right there in the background.
Oh, I see his boobies in the background.
That's him.
Yeah, he looks like Zoidberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like Zoidberg. So I see, God, way to point that out. Yeah, seeing that for the rest of my goddamn life. So that's pretty badass, man. You're completely infected with the whole fucking bug.
Yeah,
Right on, man.
I ran out of space in the garage, so the Vespa lives in the living room.
We always do that.
Time.
So for Christmas, we always pull a Vespa in. We don't do a tree. We decorate a Vespa. It's
Yeah.
much smarter, and it's cool.
It's very difficult to get the smell out of there. My girlfriend was very upset when I rolled it in there, and I went on a trip for a week, and it just smelled like oil in there for like a whole week.
Smells like my shop.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like that's where the couch is. So she wasn't having it.
A lot of stuff that gets seasoned here in the shop before it goes home. It has to spend some time outgassing. Mm-hmm. So, things that live in here, and I forget it because we're all here all the time. And then customers walk in that haven't been inside a motorcycle shop in a long time. And they come in and they go, this place smells authentic.
I love the smell, man.
I do too. And you know what? I mean, I'm not dogging it, but like I've been down to the new Ducati dealership. It doesn't smell that way.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
Trust
a
me.
different crowd.
It's a different crowd. That's it. That's the nicest possible way to put
Well,
it.
Phil, if you started selling 8.25 lattes, you might
Well, that's also true. I
have
do
Tom
that.
do that. Run out latte, Tom.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Smell like Italian
I've
leather.
got plenty of time to do latte. You can ask Phil. Actually, Phil told me to tune down the coffee the past couple weeks.
Yeah, because I get a little agita. So
Latte.
yeah, my grandmother's Sicilian, right? So I learned about agita when I was real young. I learned about the Maloik.
Maloik.
That's not good.
Yeah, you don't
and
want the
I learned
Maloik.
about Maloik, and I learned about agita.
What's agita?
Agita is heartburn.
Oh,
White people call it angina, right? So, but as a kid, I'd give my grandmother a world of shit. You give me agita. And so that was Felipe, you're giving me a agita. So, okay. What I love about his Allstate is perfect. That is every Allstate I found for 25 years. Mm-hmm. Except for the cut down passenger pad.
Well, that's just a suction cup Harley that I pipe clamped to the rack.
It is perfect. But that is every single $400 Allstate I bought for about 20 years. And it got to the point where I had a lot of them. Mm-hmm. And one year people were complaining that there were no bikes to buy at Amerivespa. So I brought about 8 of those with titles to Amerivespa for $1,200 a piece running.
That's what I got mine for.
And
with the title.
With a title. And that
Yeah.
was like, I brought him out of my trailer and all lined him up because all the people were complaining that there were no vintage bikes to be had at AmeriVespa. And I had a whole bunch of these and I had a whole bunch of like P125Xs and stuff. And I sold squatouche, as Chris would say.
That's pretty much everything.
Nobody bought a $1,200 bike with a title that ran perfectly. And these were the cognoscenti. These were the Vespa people that went to AmeriVespa.
Right.
And I'm sitting there like with my thumb up my ass going, I brought them.
Yeah, buy them.
I drove all the way here across America to be at your rally and sell some bikes.
They only want what they can't have.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, look, the KTM, that 390 adventure bike.
Yeah.
Everybody, I want a 400cc, 300-pound adventure
My
bike.
life would be complete.
And if you brought that into this country, we'd buy them. Like the lowest sales of any fucking things. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, it's a KTM 390, which means that every 6 months you do have to replace the crank.
Buzz, but by the way,
And the rocks in the crank.
one of our listeners, they texted me directly. Somehow they have my number. One of our listeners said, the new drinking game is every time Tom says to be fair,
To be fair.
you have to drink.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It's going to be hard on the listeners at home.
Oh, yeah.
Question, Parker.
Yeah.
I'm looking at what I can only describe as a tribute to oxidation.
Yeah, that's the Ashy R100.
Tell me a little bit about the Ashy R1.
That's the blue bike.
That is the blue bike?
That's the motor from the blue bike. I pulled the cylinders off, and it was like a time capsule. The other side had moss on it. Actually, I think there might be moss on the black part. Literally, dude, it was. I get to this guy's house, and it's pouring down rain. It's up on a mountain, okay, and I have a Colorado and an open trailer,
Right.
And my girlfriend just watching me, and this guy that his leg's gonna rot off from diabetes. I'm just dragging this thing.
Yeah.
Front wheel just like it's on its side, and I'm just dragging it to the trailer from his backyard. Wow. Yeah, that thing was a mess. I shouldn't have bought it.
Yeah.
Like I shouldn't.
I'm with you on that.
How much did you give for this thing?
$500.
No,
I mean, dude, it's a motor,
motor's worth that.
and the motor was free. I spun the back tire when I was there.
But you
so-
saved it. You saved
You rescued
this
it.
bike.
Yeah, I mean, you get a lot of clap back from the purists for chopping a bike up, but dude, this bike was
You didn't chop up a concourse bike.
Like, dude,
It's almost like you should carry, because that's one of my things. When I see a kid chop up like a perfect bike, I'm like, "Ugh." But if
Yeah.
you're saving it, you're saving. But you should carry a picture of the way you got it,
There's
and then be like, "Whoopah!"
There's a
suck
picture
it.
on there somewhere of me. And then there's a picture of the way home because when it started, it was raining. Like I said, well, then it started snowing and there was all this flooding and my girlfriend was driving and we almost died. It was my 4-wheel drive stopped working on the way home from that trip.
Wow.
That's it right there.
Oh,
That's
wow.
the way home.
Yeah, we've all been there, man. That is
You take a look at how
that is a
unparalleled
heroic.
those forks are.
Yeah, but that thing looks like it's been super duper crashed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pulled one out of the guy's backyard. Same thing. It was laying on its side, mud, and the left cylinder was rusted all the way up into the block,
Ew.
and then the right side had mice living in it.
Nice.
So the mouse pee does wonderful things. Yeah, but that was I felt better though because you paid for yours.
Yeah.
And I got mine for free.
Well, you got free parts. That's all I heard.
That's it. And it was a lot of fucking work, man. It was totally no bueno. So very cool.
Yeah, there's the Green Goblin.
Yeah, this is the bike as it existed prior to being cafed. Yeah.
Yeah, that fairing weighs like 85 pounds.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, our buddy just cut everything down. Like he minimalized it, got rid of the mirrors, really sculpted it down. And then from about where that boot cover is on the bottom, from there back, it was party time. I mean, business in the front and fucking party in the rear.
If anybody needs a set of those bags, I have
You still
them,
got those?
and I'll give them away at this point. I don't want them.
You know what? I'm sure you'll find somebody. Yeah. It's a lot of that stuff it's weirdly coming back. I had a guy call me about Vetter fairings the other day. And he's like, "How many Vetter fairings do you have?" And I'm like, 2. And he goes, "Which ones are they?" And I went, "They're fucking Vetter fairings, dude." Like
Well, no, because you got the Windjammer.
Yeah.
again, you already know too much. Again, right? Yeah, if you're sitting there looking at two Vetter fairings and going, oh, well, that's the Slipstreamer, and that's the Windjammer, and that's the Draft Dodger, and like all these different things. It makes sense. Think about it. Think about it.
No, I loved it.
All
I
right.
got it.
Think about the name. All right.
I got it.
I like your artistic, your design drawings.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that, but yeah.
It looks pretty much like that.
It's pretty fucking
It's
good.
close.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought that was cool, but I thought it would be fun to have you on the podcast because you're not an old guy building
No,
old guy bikes. You're a young guy building old guy bikes.
Very much self-taught.
Wait, go back to the Tom Cruise pose up there. What we got?
What you talking about,
That was
Willis?
Halloween, bro.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Well done.
Well done.
Yeah.
That'll play.
Now he has to have a
We're getting
GPZ.
into the embarrassing.
Yeah,
part.
I'm not going to go ahead. We're not going
He's gonna have to dig
Dude,
up
who
the
are
We're
you
not gonna
talking
trot
to?
that shit
There's
out.
nobody here that hasn't
Remember-
been naked on the internet somewhere or something.
This is how we know he's one of us.
Yeah.
That's right. That's how. Yeah, that always happens. And the poor guys that are posing without a long gun.
Yeah.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, super fun stuff. So now other news of our not so wayward traveler, Chris Smith, who disappeared for a major part of the month to go ride motorcycles on the other side of the planet. Tell us a little more.
Well, I went to Morocco to put my finger in a dike. And she says, that's not my belly button. And I said, that's not my finger.
So, so Chris, we're happy
Pete
to
changed sides.
Yeah, we had. Look, we can't get canceled now. I have made sure that we.
Say what you will about child molesters, but they always slow down in school zones.
Yeah, I'm not even fooling around when I tell you I had recorded the ClevelandMoto Delivers episode that's all about guns before somebody shot up a school in Tennessee.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
So I had recorded the entire thing.
Delete.
I had recorded the entire 25 minutes, 30 minutes talking about guns and my unique, weird relationship with them. And then somebody had to go shoot up a school.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much every day.
Okay, all right.
It is America.
I was in Nashville when that happened. Well, actually, I flew home like the day it happened.
Well, we almost had one here. Like yesterday, they caught
West
the kid.
Geauga.
West G.
Yeah, West G.
That's where my nieces and nephews
Isn't that
all
where
go to
that
school.
other dude did it too? Like that
There was a
roof
Chardon
kid
scooter.
or Chardon.
scooter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. You go to Chris Smith's Facebook page and it's just his meat. It's just his meat hanging.
Just hanging.
Just meat hanging. Just hanging meat. Or just
green.
meat.
Why is it green looking?
Meat hanging. I don't know. What could be.
That's aging.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
right.
It's meat. It's fucking meat. It's meat's hanging. So, Chris, a little just for our folks, Moto Explorers. We talked about this while you were gone. While you did the call in, we did a deep dive into Moto Explorers.
Okay.
Which we're very happy to do because it's such
What'd
a
you figure out?
cool thing. Well, first of all, we figured out that it's a very nice company. Like they look after your ass.
They do.
They really make it hard for you to fuck up.
This
Yeah.
is the most. Wait, go back up a little bit. Well, that is actually the most appropriate photo when you're talking about ass.
Well, and this is your plumbing option for that part of the world. And I've been to that part of the world. Sometimes they flush.
That was at a gas station.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You know, what are you going to do?
This is pretty low rent. Most of the places don't have this, but I've definitely been to places that have this. Yeah, I've been to places that have this. Hell, I was at a decent coffee shop in Milan. Badger and Annie and Merritt, we went to a Vespa thing, and we did all the cool spaces. We did Florence, the Vespa factory, and we rented a little blue Fiat Panda, and we'd fucked off to Milan. And once we got into town and there's places we wanted to see, and parking in Milan is not cool. And even with a Fiat Panda, a rented Fiat Panda. And we found a spot only 17 miles away from where we wanted to be.
Yeah.
So it's perfect parking. And we slid the thing sideways into a parking spot. And Annie or one of the girls had to full yellow alert, right? And boom, into the coffee shop. And I was like, well, just so you know, they might charge you for the privilege of using their facility, or you may be prepared to buy something. But since we're in Milan, I will buy coffee. So head in, and so Annie comes out, and Annie's pointing in the door of the coffee shop at this toilet. And Annie is straight up pointing in a door in a building interior and pointing at that facility. And she's like, Phil, you need to come and see this. And I went and I looked and I went, they're kicking it old school. Now, I'm pretty sure that this was the toilet they had for customers, AKA people who walk in off the street. And I'm sure they had a proper facility in the back for the staff that work there, because Milan's pretty well improved at this point. But I told Annie, I was like, well, you chose this place.
Yeah.
And have at it, Annie. Go in there and do your worst. And she's like, what do I wipe with? And I went, what do you got? That's exactly right. Hi. Don't shake hands with Annie. But yeah, so you were in that part of the world.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking cool, man. So if you will, bring us up to speed. Tell us your story about this trip, because it's a fucking great trip.
And don't forget to update us on the military guy who forgot his meds. That's the one I want to hear what happened.
I still feel like I don't feel like you can have this story without mentioning him.
Yeah.
Well, so you pick your bike, but you don't pick your
Your
riders.
team.
Yeah.
Right. You pick your bike. Right.
So there's a guy from Rome, Georgia, who's ex-military and has had brain injuries or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's essentially a nice guy, but he doesn't have limits and doesn't want to shut the fuck up.
You know what? And there's a thing in the military too where there's just a wiring. He's just got a wiring problem.
Yeah.
There's just a wiring problem. Nicest guys in the world can have wiring problems.
And he's a very, very generous guy and trying to help everybody out.
Right.
And telling you what you want to have for dinner. which didn't go over well with my co-rider, Pete Hemfling.
Unsolicited advice.
Yeah. So finally Pete snapped.
There's Pete.
And that was about the end of that for 2 days where Rome, Georgia wouldn't talk to Pete.
Oh, really?
And, yeah.
Because one veteran lit up another veteran.
Yeah. And, Pete set him down.
Right.
And the guy almost came across a table at Pete.
Oh, yeah.
And I told Pete, I said, well, don't worry about it, Pete. I'll clock the guy in the back of the head with this plate if he comes after you. So it got a little out of hand. Yeah. But
Couldn't the people from the thing help you or something?
you know what? This guy has been on 3 of their tours already. So... Pete and I were talking. I said, why the fuck did they allow this guy to come
This dude's
back
got
on
his
here?
own Memorial Park bench already.
Yeah.
Like, if he's gone to 3 of those tours, they love him.
And then 2 other times he's rented motorcycles from them and ridden around Portugal.
Done his own thing, yeah.
Yeah, so they see the money sign walking in the door with this yo-yo, and it's like, okay. And I get it. know, and the guy's rough around the edges, but essentially he's a good guy.
Right.
And then, so there was a husband and wife team from Brazil, and they both rode motorcycles. And the poor gal, she was on a 750 BMW, and she had essentially platform motorcycle boots because
she's real short.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at her in this picture, she's a full head shorter than anybody else in the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was doing a very good job. The first 3 or 4 days.
Yep.
And then we were in a parking lot coming out of what they call the Switzerland of Morocco, which is the winter hangout for the king of Morocco. And we were in a parking lot coming out of there. And for some reason, she's taking a hard left turn and dropped the bike on her right side.
She probably had the BMW F750 GS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And came down and cracked her ankle. So they lifted the bike up off her leg.
Right.
I sat on my bike and watched because they didn't need any other help.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later, we rode into the area up against the Sahara Desert where we're going to ride the camels and all that kind of stuff. And on the way out the next day, there's a lot of sand across the road, and she got into the sand and fell over again.
Yep.
Same ankle, crunched it, and so... she was done for the next 3 or 4 days. Now, what I will give these people credit for is they had enough room in the back of the van to put her bike in there in addition to their backup bike
Oh,
in case
so
somebody's broke.
So they took a backup bike with your group.
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Plus all the luggage.
so they had a big Sprinter van or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So they threw her bike.
So she became a passenger.
She was a passenger.
Yep.
Yeah, for the
All
next 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And she was limping quite a bit. And you feel
Yeah.
bad for the young lady.
Yeah.
She wasn't that old. She was an old bitch, but an older gal. But eventually, the last 2 days, she rode on the back of her husband's bike,
Fantastic.
which was good. I mean,
Right.
she got out and everything.
Yeah.
So all in all, there was a guy out front, Carlos.
Yeah.
And then there's a guy in the back driving the van by the name of Ricardo.
So your crew from the company was a lead man
Yep.
and the sag wagon.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Correct. And initially we were told that there's going to be lead guy, tail guy, and then the van. But I think because there were only 6 of us.
That's a super small group.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the guys is actually from Portugal. His name is Frank, Franck. And he was Frank. And so he brought his own BMW. And
Okay.
he was a
All right.
very, very good motorcyclist. When we were going the very last day up to Tangier from Marrakesh, we got halfway between, we stopped for lunch. And that's when Frank figured out, I left my passport back in Marrakesh. And everybody's going, are you fucking kidding me, Frank? You dumb shit. But so the question was, well, what are we going to do? So Carlos, the lead guy, says, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have the people in Marrakesh at the hotel find a cab to drive the passport halfway up to...
Now, was this a point where he had left his passport at the front desk of the hotel?
Yes.
Yeah, because I've been traveling a lot. In a lot of places, you do leave your
Gotta
passport
turn it in, yeah.
at the front door of the hotel, and then you go do your shit.
Yeah.
But you got to remember
Grab it on the way out.
to grab it on the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because I asked, I said, well, why don't you just see if you can overnight it from Marrakesh
Right.
up to Tangier?
Yeah.
Because in Tangier, the next day, we were going across the Straits
Gotta-
of Gibraltar.
Gibraltar,
You got to produce your passport.
gotta
So
produce
he
your
was going to be
papers.
screwed either way.
Present your papers.
Yeah. So Carlos had to hang back like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And wait for whoever it was to drive it from Marrakesh up to this halfway point, which I can't remember the name of the town, but it was a lovely town. We continued to go north to Tangier.
Right.
And what we found out was that day, the Moroccan soccer team, which did very well in the World Cup, if you guys remember, was having a friendly against Brazil
Right.
in the city of Tangier.
Tangier. Yep.
That's
Tangier.
like, fuck's sake.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So we're going north on a 2-lane road.
Yeah.
And
Were you coming out of Fez that day, or were you coming out of like Casablanca?
we were halfway between Marrakesh
Yeah.
and Tangier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're on a 2-lane road, and luckily, in 2 spots, they close the 2 lanes down to 1 lane and then cross it over to the other side of the road
Yeah.
because they had 15 miles of construction.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, man.
And so going up there,
Yeah.
screaming up there, the 2 lanes quickly became 3 lanes.
Yeah.
Because the soft shoulder on
Soft
the
shoulder.
far right.
Right.
And then it's like 3.5 lanes.
So I used to
'cause
call the
people-
tourist bus lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where the tourist buses are going 173 miles an hour. They'll dip 2 wheels in the sand like nobody's business.
It's fucking crazy. And all these people just coming up and just going bad out of hell, and then they're all kind of jamming the fuck back in.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck? So anyhow, we're going north, and we're in the middle of all this traffic, and it's not like the people are driving bullshit cars. I mean, there's Volvos and BMWs and Mercedes, and everybody's ripping and tearing like,
Yeah.
there's no tomorrow. All for what?
Yeah.
A friggin' friendly soccer game. It's like,
Right.
Jesus Christ. So meanwhile, poor Carlo is back, 3 hours. So he has to come up. He has to come up between like 7:30 and 11:30. And I think they have one light on the road for like 180 miles. I mean, it's pitch dark out there, and this guy's ripping and tearing. And now I'm going to tell you, he's a phenomenal motorcyclist, and by all arguments, I was the worst motorcyclist in the whole group. Everybody was very good at doing these tight turns and up and down stuff like that. I suck at doing that, but who cares? You know, I survived. I didn't crash.
You're here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not calling us from a hospital in Tangier.
You know what was funny though? Nobody stood up and said, "No, Chris, no." When he said,
Okay. Now to put this all in. Now, hold on. I'm just gonna say it.
I don't get that. No.
One of our friends, Moin Khan.
yes,
Right. So Moin Khan is Pakistan, and Moin Khan has ridden literally around the planet. Okay.
Yeah.
But Moin Khan, while riding a sport bike, doing something you shouldn't do, traveling around the world on a sport bike, Moin Khan found himself in a hospital
Yeah.
as a result of a horrific motorcycle crash
Like there were more parts in
where
that
he
picture.
spent months of his life. And this great idea about I'm going to ride my motorcycle from Pakistan to San Francisco, right? Turned into 3 or 4 months in the hospital. And Moin is an extremely talented rider
Yeah.
now. But he was in a horrible, horrible crash that Chris does not want to spend 3 months in a fucking hospital in Tangier. And Moin spent 3 months in a hospital in Romania. I'm sorry, Moin, if I'm fucking your story up. But people had to mail him things. Right.
Yeah.
And that he got to learn to speak the language. He got to figure out how Google Translate works just to try to figure out where his motorcycle was.
Then he found out it was just pieces.
And to find out his motorcycle was a third of a motorcycle.
when he showed that picture during his thing at Mid Ohio,
Right.
it was like thousands of
So
pieces.
make no mistake, if you can listen to the story of Moin Khan and his cross-country adventure, that's something we all want to avoid. So that idea of being like, look, I was riding aggressively and I was keeping up with the lead dog and we were strafing the corners. Ask Moin how that goes.
Well, then don't ask us about.
Okay. All right. So there's a lot to be said for you're here and you're not in a hospital.
Yep.
Right.
And I was using first and second gear a lot.
And your trip didn't require a helicopter.
No.
Right.
No.
Yeah. Right. So good for you.
So, not rally asshole.
Not rally asshole. Exactly. Right. That's the best award you can have.
best award
Is
you can
not
have.
rally
Not
asshole.
rally asshole.
Right. Because everybody remembers the rally asshole.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to be the rally asshole. Yeah. Right on. Okay. So cool. Back to you, Chris.
So we were traveling through the Atlas Mountains quite a bit, which is a lot of twists and turns and stuff like that. And it's interesting. So the lead guy is a very accomplished motorcyclist, and they probably do this tour 5 or 6 times a year. And so these guys know where they are, know what they're doing. And when you got one lane going out and one lane coming back, he'll just jump out and pass people. And then the second guy in line, Rome, Georgia, is right on his ass.
Yeah.
And then the Brazilians kind of get out. And what happens, what we found out is when the Brazilians get out to pass, there's enough room for 4 bikes to pass. And they'll get out and parallel the car we're passing, and then they'll slow up.
Yep.
And then when the oncoming traffic comes, they'll dive in and leave Pete and me in the back. And Pete and I are on Senna's. I go, what the fuck is Gilson doing? Oh, God damn it. He's leaving us hanging back. And meanwhile, everybody else has passed us. And
Sure.
we got to wait another, quarter mile or a mile just to get around this guy.
To get around that guy.
But the passing is kind of crazy. The
Yes,
way
it
these
is.
people pass, and they'll pass on blind turns or as you're coming up over a hill. Gilson will come up over a hill. You don't have any idea who's coming. He's coming up here and he dives back. I'm like, Jesus Christ, because guess what? If he gets hit, everything goes to scramble.
Exactly.
And then it's
Yep.
in my face, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
So that was a little unnerving, like 78 times, I think it was.
Riding with locals is bizarre. I've done a lot of weird riding in Mexico and stuff, and you're on these downhill, complete fucking widowmaker, decreasing radius turns, and there'll be the topes, right? Botes, the bumps, the speed bumps that are there because they don't want to pay for police officers, so they just make speed bumps that'll destroy your motorcycle, and then you're downhill hard, and the whole group I'm riding with is like, fuck it, left to center. And they're passing trucks left of center on a blind decreasing radius turn. And I'm in the back with my wife being like, it ain't worth it.
Yeah, fuck this.
It ain't fucking worth it. You know what? I know where we are. I know where we're going. The ocean is there.
I'll see him in 3 miles.
I guarantee I will find them.
Yeah.
So let's just hang back and let's not be the guy who has to dive under the fucking overloaded truck full of pigs because we decided to pass at the wrong time.
Well, two things on that. So I'm second last, and some guy in a Renault or something like that pulls out to go around all 8 of us.
Yeah.
And then decides to dive back in after me and Pete.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
No, it's a Renault, a Peugeot, a French cheese-eating surrender wagon. It is going to always be the same thing in that part of the world.
And he just plain didn't give a fuck. It's like, Jesus Christ, okay.
No fucks given.
You're diving back in. Then the other fun thing was they have these hay wagons. So it's a truck, and
where was this?
This is in Morocco.
Morocco, yeah.
And so they have the hay in the back of the truck, but then once it gets above the cab level, the hay for some way builds out forward and backwards. But I'm
10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
But it's like 15 yards.
Oh,
and another 5 yards. And Pete and I are looking at that going, if something falls off,
a whole bunch of that comes off, right?
Jesus, we're fucking cooked.
The driver's will alone is holding that shit up.
And you probably didn't see the kids sitting on top of it.
That's what holds the hay down.
After I saw the first one, I thought, well, okay, that was fun to see. Well, we saw dozens of those things.
Yeah.
This must be some sort of art that they have stacking, hay up on the top of these fucking things, bales of hay and shit like that.
So what happens if 2 come at each other? Like, right?
2 wheels in the dirt on both sides.
Okay.
Yeah,
2 wheels in the sand on both sides.
Things like that happen where people slide off the dirt and stuff like that. It's so the the people running the tour have done this enough, so they know where to stop. So what I will say is they get started at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and these guys that run it, they're addicted to caffeine. So by 10 o'clock, 10:15, they got to stop for an espresso, which is good because, as Steve Hofford can attest, I need a potty break.
Yeah, and I need an espresso right now. Espresso right now.
Well, I mean, that is part of riding. I've done a bunch of tours all over the planet, and my favorite tours are when we go and do 45 minutes of really fun riding, like having a fucking great time, and then stop, and then have a cocktail or a snack, and then we do 45 minutes of hard riding, and then have a snack. And I believe in that CrossFit mentality of motorcycle riding, where you're like, if you've ever done the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride with us, you'll know that we go, the first part of it is very controlled, the first leg, and then we'll have a stop. And then the next leg is not so controlled. And then we have a stop. And then the last leg, which is getting to Porco,
Out of control.
is the GP, right? But that
You
is,
have to get there before the chocolate milk runs out.
before they run out of Roman twists. But I love that idea of riding for about 45 minutes and then having a break. And if you've ever ridden with me in the mountains, like when we do dragon and stuff, and we do all kinds of Tennessee stuff, I only ride for about 45 minutes because that's when you start getting sloppy. You get fatigued because none of us here ride 3 hours of curves because we don't fucking have 3 hours of curves. They didn't give us that. We live in the land of squares. And so the idea of like stopping at 10:30 a.m. after starting at 7:30 a.m., thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pee twice.
So the one thing that I thought a cinch about is they at these stops, a lot of these gas stations actually have food.
Yeah.
And they have the coffees, but they also sell beer, and they sell a beer called Super Bock 0.0.
0.0 Super Bock. Yeah.
And so the one time I saw Carlo and he had a beer, I said, because you're not allowed to have a beer at lunch. And I said, what do you got going on here? He says, no alcohol. I said,
Right.
well, I'm going to try one of those. And I'm going to tell you, it was a fucking good beer.
Yeah, they're coming around, man. I mean, these are okay, but I've had some really good NA beers, man.
So Super Bock Zeros.
Excellent. And they're tasty.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Very good.
Get you
very
through the
good.
day.
Yeah. So the other interesting thing is when we were going into Marrakesh, very crowded.
Yeah.
As you come in from, the hinterlands, you start to come in these roads, and it gets more and more crowded, and there's a lot of scooters, and people are zipping around everywhere. There's people on little, 50cc scooters cutting you off, to make a left from the right and all this other kind of stuff. But one of the things is there's a ton of traffic rotaries, and the leader Carlos says, "Stay tight when you're in the cities.
Right.
Don't lag." So I had Gilson and his wife, and I forget her name, but I would just call her Sissy Spacek because she looked like a tiny little Sissy Spacek. And they would come up to so Carlo goes through first, and then Rome, Georgia goes through second, and
Rome, Georgia. I love that his name is now just Rome, Georgia.
And then Frank goes through third. Well, these traffic
We named the dog Indy.
So going into the rotary, you got to follow the leader.
Yes, you do.
Well, of course,
the only way it
Gilson
works.
stops. I was like,
What? Are you fucking kidding me?
well, you stop,
Right.
and all the rotating
Oh,
traffic
yeah,
says,
yeah.
fuck you,
Hey, no, we're done.
And,
Yeah.
it's like- and so meanwhile, they've gone out at 12 o'clock. You're at
Yeah.
6 o'clock, and
Yeah.
you can see them disappearing.
Oh,
down
they're
there. It's
gone.
like, fuck me. So
Were you guys getting like Seinfeld yelling, Gilson?
yeah. So we finally got around fucking Gilson, and then so then the next traffic rotary, Pete and I went, and you just go,
Right.
And
You just
somebody's coming in, and you think they're gonna fucking hit you, and think, well, I don't give a fuck, let's see how it goes. And at the last minute, they stop you. You make your way through it. Well, you look in your rearview mirror. Well, Gilson's way the fuck back there. I say,
There you go, pal. How's
bye,
it feel?
Gilson. You
Right.
fuck. And so here's a side note. So Gilson's from Brazil, and somewhere along the line, Gilson starts talking about riding in the Amazon. So Knucklehead Rome, Georgia, decides.
And I
He-
okay. I brought the picture up on the screen.
Yeah, which one?
He's the fellow wearing the Poughkeepsie shirt, if I'm not mistaken.
Poughkeepsie.
Right. Yeah.
the fanny
Yeah.
pack.
So he's wearing Poughkeepsie shirt, thick head, no neck.
No neck.
Right.
And you know what? So the first 2 nights he showed up at dinner. So it's all communal dinner.
Yeah.
You show up. He showed up with headphones on, listening to his own music.
Right.
While everybody else is sitting around.
Yeah, because
What's going on here? But he did say that if he's in a restaurant and there's loud noises, he tends to lose his grip. It's like,
yeah.
well, okay.
Yeah.
Don't lose your grip. So
You know what I can tell you about Rome, Georgia?
tell me.
That motherfucker can take a punch.
Yeah.
I think we could spend a week punching on that guy, and he'd be totally okay with it.
Break your
I've
hand on
I've met guys like him before. Yeah, that's the thing
He's-
from the
he's-
Fantastic Four right there.
He's military. And you know what? He and Pete were in the Army at the same
Similar time. Yeah, they appear to be about the same age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were both in Germany.
Yep.
Whereas Pete was traveling around Germany and
Right.
taking the trains and stuff.
Yeah.
Old, his name is Paul. Old Paulie boy would never
He's a barracks
leave.
rat.
Yeah.
They call it barracks rat.
Okay.
Term for that is a barracks rat.
Yeah.
You always got to watch those guys.
He's,
Yeah.
He's a piece of work.
Uncle Sam spent a lot of money to send you to Europe and go do dumb shit,
Yeah.
and you just stayed at the barracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, he's a barracks rat. Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, but that's just what it is.
So he's bragging how he's gonna go to Brazil and ride through the rainforest with Gilson.
Yeah.
And I finally looked at Pete. I said, "Jesus Christ, poor Gilson's gonna be stuck with with Rome, Georgia for 3 weeks in essentially the outback. Are you freaking
It's
kidding me?
Fucking rainforest, Brazil.
Gilson's going to get eaten. Well, that dude.
I was going to say, all right, Gilson, give him a fake email address.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just
Motorcycles and Misfits at.
Oh,
And you know, Liza, she's so nice. She'd be like, "Yeah, I remember you. Come ride with us."
send them on the Castles and Curves tour.
Yeah.
They're always like. I don't think Cat McLeod would tolerate this dude.
No.
Cat McLeod's a very cool dude.
Yeah.
He wouldn't forget a passport somewhere. Cat McLeod's got his shit together.
Nice.
Right? Like that's, he's one of these guys that leads a tour, but he leads a tour. Cat's a very smart person, and he's also an extremely accomplished rider. And in the very little time I've spent with Cat, I've learned that Cat's got his shit together. And if he's running a tour, Cat's going to have his shit together. And they were joking about you got to turn the cucumbers into pickles. They said because at the beginning of the tour, there's all these cucumbers flying around the air. And that's when somebody leaves their passport at the hotel and it's a cucumber goes right up your ass and fucks the whole tour up. So the idea is you want to prevent the cucumbers from flying up your ass and turn them into pickles. And then have a nice
pickles in your
tour.
ass are better?
Well, no, because the cucumber does what it's meant to do, which is become a delicious pickle.
Pickle, gotcha.
Right, as opposed to being...
Or up your ass.
Or up your ass.
Right. You have two options.
Sure.
What do you want? Do you want the pickle?
Sure.
Or do you want the cucumber-shaped suppository?
No.
Nope. No. So that's the deal.
Chris, is Gilson the third guy from the left?
Yeah.
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 He's from Brazil.
Yeah, he's got his arm around his wife.
Yeah, he's a long-haired Brazilian fella. Tell me about the guy in the Dainese shirt. Looks like Joe Hongosh with a bunch of arm tattoos. He's got one sleeve.
Oh gosh.
The black T-shirt with the red Dainese logo on it.
Glasses.
Oh, that's Frank.
Frank CK.
Frank with a CK?
Yeah, Frank CK.
Not Louis CK, Frank CK. Frank CK.
Frank, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because you got a very tight group here. This is a very small group of people.
Yeah, and that was nice because everybody kind of kept their shit togeted.
Yeah, that's nice.
People didn't show up late
Right.
to take off in the mornings and stuff like that.
Right.
Interesting. So two things that I thought was interesting. So I sent you a photo of Pete on the back of a horse that's rearing up.
Oh, that horse is so majestic.
Yep.
So
majestic.
So while we were stopped at that wacky little spot, and I think these tour guys stop at certain spots that they know they're going to be there because people are selling earrings and bracelets and all sorts of horse shit, right? And so
it's a unique marketing opportunity.
yeah. And it's funny because they want to sell you this pair of glasses for $10,
Right.
And what Pete figured out is you offer them $1,
Right.
And they say no. You walk away and say, okay, I'll take $1,
Right.
So it's like you divide everything by 10. Anyhow, while I'm standing around waiting for Pete to get off the horse, a guy walks up to me and says, "Is this an organized tour?" Because he was on a bus trip.
Okay.
With his wife and a bunch of other people. And I said, yeah, this guy over here, he's running it. You can get his card and everything like that.
Oh,
and,
sorry. Terrible audio.
And the guy says, where are you from? He says, I'm from California. I said, okay, well, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. He says, oh, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. I said, no shit.
Of course.
I said, where'd you grow up? Brecksville. I said, Jesus Christ. That's right down the road. So
you got to go 5,000 miles just to meet more people from Ohio.
Well, so worse than that is the first night that we are out of Lisbon. We're in Spain, and we're in this hotel, and a woman is asking about us, and she says, "Where are you guys from?" And Pete and I said, "We're Greater Cleveland." She says, "Oh, my son lives in Greater Cleveland." I said, "Really? What part of Greater Cleveland does he live in?" He says, Rocky River. I said, yeah, what street? She says, Erie-Wood. I said, I know where Erie-Wood is. So it's just serendipity. Here you are, 8,000 miles away, and you bump into a couple of people that grew up and lived around you.
Yeah, you're just on the other side of the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'll say about this is, this is kind of a kitschy kind of thing. So for, I don't know, it's like $13 or something like that.
Right.
You get to ride the camels, and So there's an older guy and a young kid who's probably 20. And so they walk the camels about a mile into the Sahara. You dismount, you take pictures and bullshit like that.
Right.
Well, the 20-year-old says, "Give me your camera." So you give me his camera. This kid is taking these photos with the smartphones, and I'm looking at him afterwards. I said, "Man, this kid belongs, in a professional photography class or something like that, because he's doing such nice photos from low angles and getting the sun or everything it's setting.
He's making everybody look good.
Well, yeah, and then Pete says, "Yeah, well, he's only done this,
yeah.
3 times a day for 300 days a year, but he did a very, very good job.
Yeah.
That's the point of that."
And usually, too, when you are in a tourist environment and everyone's like, "Oh, you know what? Shit, I don't want to listen to the instructor. I want to take a picture." Shut up. Listen to the instructor. Somebody will come by to take your picture. If you think you're going to miss this fucking Kodak moment, there have been 1,000 other people with sunburn before you who they have taken pictures of.
Plus, the dude's probably going to make about $1,000 in tips that day.
Exactly.
So,
Right. That is.
Yeah, but $1,000 comes out to be 10.
Malim, yeah. If you're talking about 1,000 Malim, that's $10.
Dinars,
tops.
yeah.
Dinars are they're not going far. Yeah, they divide their hundreds. They divide their dollars into thousands, not hundreds. Ooh. Yeah, it's a tougher economy. Yeah. So that was cool. I mean, I did that. The guys where I was staying in Tunisia, I did spend some time up there, and the guy would show up on the beach with like 4 camels, dromedaries, single humpers, one humpers, and he'd show up with a bunch of one humpers to do that shtick, right? To do the thing. And then he realized we were all a bunch of 18, 20-year-old Army guys, and he was like, "I see an opportunity here."
Yeah.
And then he was like,
And he brought 2 humpers?
well, no. So what he basically said was, he's like, "So who wants to, English isn't a real big language there. So there's a lot of French going on, but he's kind of like, who wants to ride a camel?" And at that point, an entire brigade raised their hand and went, "We want to ride a camel." And he went, "Well, I have 4 camels."
Yeah.
And so he started saying, "Well, put your money down, and whoever puts, the most money down gets to ride a camel." And we became competitive with each other. Because fuck you, I'm riding that camel. And so we did. And we threw money down until the guy was like, "Okay, these are my 4 winners."
Yeah.
And he put each of us on a camel, which is pretty good because the camels have like a pretty decent getting on system. They're like a modern Pan America, right? They lower down for you, and you get on the camel, and the camel then gets back up because we were, 19 years old and 1% body fat and 180 pounds, and we get up on the camel, and then they're like, "Okay," and then the guy's like, "Okay, great." And then what he normally did was he'd normally walk you around a little bit, and then off you fuck. Mm-hmm. But we kind of were like, a couple of guys had ridden horses before. And I was like, "Well, I know how a horse works." And the only difference with the camel is the wrong kind of saddle sitting on the wrong part of the horse. I got this. And so I'm like, and I just give it a little bit of heels.
Are you in front or behind the hump?
Behind the hump.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's cafe racer style. You don't want to do it any other way.
He's down over the top.
I'm not a fucking cruiser thing. Come on, man. And so I just give a little, and it turns out that's a universal language. It's a camels. And I get a little, and just kick my heels back a little bit, and the camel just busts into a trot pretty good. I was like, "Oh, yeah, we're good now." I've had horses worse than this. Yeah. And we start just kind of wandering across the sand. And Rakim over there is just like, "Oh, this job does itself." So pretty soon, Rakim loops us back around again. He gets the camel back. And because I wasn't trying to go anywhere far with it, but he realizes he can line these camels up and make more money. Yeah. So we just start racing each other. And it turns out your average American infantryman will make it about 9 to 10 meters before rapidly disembarking the camel. You'd think the camel had a fucking ejector seat, the way these guys fell off these camels. And I fell off camel 3 or 4 times because they're pretty high. Like,
oh, they are, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty tall. And you fall off, but it's just sand, so it's not too bad.
Was it pleasing? Was there any really good camel toes around? Or
Well, you can't miss it. But the thing, two things about camels that you should know. One is if they want your attention, they'll spit at you. Mm-hmm. They will. And that does happen all the time. And if they don't like what you're doing, if you're being a fuckwit, they have an education system built into every camel that is called, I'm going to put you on the ground and fucking step on you. And a camel will put you on the ground and step on you fast.
Yeah.
Super fast.
Like jiu-jitsu fast?
Enough that you won't want to get back on again. No matter how much money you put in a hat. You'll be like, no, I'm done. And we did that. And I rode camels all over, but it looks like they were leading you over the dunes and pretty cool. Like you all are up on some dromedaries. It's badass.
So it was just an hour out and
No, that's
sitting there and an hour back.
That's really good. That's beautiful, man. And do you know the rule about one hump versus two humps?
Tell me.
Okay. A one hump camel is a dromedary camel, and you can trust a one hump camel. A two hump camel, you cannot trust. They bring them out for the photo op because everybody wants to see a two hump camel.
Yeah.
They're shaggier, they're more photogenic, and everything else. But fuck trying to ride one. So only time I've been thrown by a camel, and I've been thrown by a few horses, but I got onto a two hump Asian camel, and I got my world rocked. And first of all, you have a whole hump you can hang on to, and they're kind of fleshy and fun to hold on to. But
Cinch dated a couple of gals like that.
Yeah.
Kind of fleshy and fun to hold on to.
I think that's what they said about me.
I was going to say, pictures of my first girlfriend, I was well equipped for that job.
Yeah.
No, but I'm hanging, I know that thing fucked me up. Oh. And that camel had not one bit of chill. So when the guy was like, oh, you know what you're doing, you can get on this one. And I was like, yeah, that's the Lawrence of Arabia motherfucker right there. I want a picture on that. And it took me about 7 seconds to get totally fucking, professional bull rider. I am not. PBR rodeo, fuck that. I was down. And I got thrown down super duper hard. And then that thing looked at me like, I'm just going to kill you. And I'd been shot at several times that week. And the camel fucked me up more. I mean, straight up. PTSD? Nope. Show me a double humper fucking camel. I'm out. I'm leaving. If you bring one in here right now for a petting zoo, I will give it a respectful distance. I'm not going to threaten it. I'm going to look at it hard. I'm not going to do anything. I'll be using telephoto the whole time because fuck those double humpers. Yep. But what you guys were on, those dromedaries, those are some sweet ass animals right there. Yeah. And the milk, ice cream, like everything. That camel is a proper animal right there. So I'm glad you got the chance to ride them.
Yeah.
They're pretty chill.
Yeah. The only other thing that was kind of wacky is, I'm not a particularly fast motorcyclist, but there are some.
We come back to that again.
Well, there's some times where we were doing 100 miles an hour on these BMWs on these highways. And it's like, I'm the guy that says, well, I don't like going this fast.
Why are we in such a hurry? It's just more desert.
Well, no, this is on highways, so we did have some highway riding, and the lead guy was always in a hurry to get to the hotel that night and disembark and get everybody settled in. So he'll rip and tear and
make time while you can.
Yeah, so you're up to 160 kilometers an hour. It's like, Pete, how fast you going? It's like, Jesus, I got to slow down.
So were you the only two guys on communicators?
Yeah.
That
had to be nice. Can you imagine if that other guy had it?
Other trips, I gotta let you know, and a lot of other trips, everybody has communicators. Yeah. Right. So they can keep you tight and talk you through a situation that you might not be familiar with. Like, we're gonna do the third out on this traffic circle. So if you get fucking separated, don't freak out. Yeah. That's cool. But what I will tell you is, in that part of Africa, the roads are a little slippery.
Yes, they are.
And that's what not a lot of people realize. I think they're going to go there and tear the place up like they own it. And what you don't realize is it may not have rained there for a long time, but that asphalt is slipperier than shit. Yeah. And you think the road looks dry and safe and the whole deal, and you're trying to do some aggressive braking. It's super fucking dangerous. The roads do not have the same level of grip that we have in America, that you're coming around a turn, it is so easy to lose the back end.
Well, and there's sand that'll blow across.
Oh, it wanders across the road constantly.
And I felt the ABS a couple of times, kind of slow me up and correct.
There's the Mexicans have, the Alaskans have 26 words for snow. Inuit people, right? 26 words for snow. And what I learned when I was in the desert is there's at least 4 different kinds of sand. And there's sand that we all know, and they get gradually smaller until you get to what's called pesh. And pesh is talcum powder. And when you get into an area that's got pesh, that's sand that's been fucked multiple times. And it is now truly talcum powder. And anything that it gets on, whether it's your skin or your clothing or your bike or anything, it is now just slippery as fuck. And you can't trust it.
That's the way the roads are up in like in New York.
Yeah.
On the service roads, when it doesn't rain for like a month.
Yeah.
It's just like that. It's like talcum powder.
Yeah.
And the roads are so
Crowned. Yeah.
that you could just slide. If you don't have cross tracks on your tires, the bike just slides.
Oh shit.
Sideways.
Oh,
down
my.
The thing down the road.
Yeah.
And it was
Because
a
you
real
can't
pain.
get yourself back up to the crown of the road.
Well, you have to change your direction so that your tires will grip and go up there.
Yeah.
But if you're just riding straight, the bike slowly slides.
It's just creeping off the edge of the road.
Right.
Oh, fuck that. Oh, man. So
one other thing that I
please.
that we noticed was as we're driving through Morocco, there would be stoppages, and the local nationales were out there.
the federales.
Yeah, and they were stopping groups of cars or vans and
This
stuff
is
like
Morocco?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when they saw Carlos come through,
Yeah.
and on the front of his bike it says, Moto Explorers and stuff like that, and we were all kind of in a line, so they would wave us through.
Yeah.
So after about the second day, I asked him, I said, so how come they don't stop us, or who are they stopping? And he says, he said, the Moroccans are very conscientious about Al Qaeda coming into Morocco from the east. And so any group that doesn't present themselves as somebody that looks like touristas.
Yeah.
And we do. They stop them, and they go through all sorts of dog shit to look through what they got going on. So, and these are federales with, automatic weapons strapped across their chest and stuff like that. Because the first couple of times going through, I'm slowing down, I'm looking, they're going to pull us over. And of course, Gilson in the back actually stopped one time.
Oh, really?
As we all got through.
Yeah.
So we're maybe a quarter mile down, and everybody stopped and turned around. Well, here comes Gilson. But he stopped to, I don't know, talk to the fucking cops or something like that. I was like, Jesus Christ, just keep going, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't talk to cops.
Let him hit your wife or something like that.
Trust me, the only words that you have in common is heckler and koch. There is no commonality right there. I've been to that part of the world, and you're like, oh, okay, well, he's got a G3. Fantastic. Well done. I'm the fuck out of here. Yeah, that is it.
It's a big gulp, eh?
I don't
See you later.
I don't need to fucking be around here. Unless you're pointing at me, telling me to pull over, I'm going to proceed gaily forward. And that is the secret for traveling in the Middle East. Is until you are being fucked with directly, don't even be a spectator.
Yeah, don't look them in the eye either, because they let the first three guys go through. You just follow the rest of them through and get the hell out of there.
Well, it's like being a vampire, right? If they can't see you, right? Okay. If you cast no reflection, if you're invisible, right? Yeah. The whole idea is just to maintain this sort of like, I can see all of you, but y'all can't see me, right? Unless I want you to see me. And that's that jam, is when you're traveling in strange parts of the world, eye contact. It's like when we have customers come to the door here. Steve knows. Don't look them in the eye.
They sit there, they're pawing at the door. They can see the bikes, and they're pawing, and they're pawing.
The best,
sad little eyes.
the best is when you're prepping stuff or doing something. Like, I don't talk to people. That's not my job. So like, they can stand there all day going, and I'm like,
I'm sorry. You'll have to excuse Steve. He's a deaf mute.
yes.
Like first time it happened to me, I'm like, well, should I do something about this? And you and Renee both were like, no.
No.
I've knocked on that door with purpose.
Yes.
Like I was here for a reason. I was here to buy oil or some shit.
Yes.
And you guys just ignore. I'm like, oh, I guess I'll fucking call the number.
That's why Sleepy put it in 3-inch tall print on the door.
I've seen it happen. I have seen people paw at the door, like, knock on the door, nothing.
Yeah.
The phone will ring like
Yep.
3 minutes
Yep.
later and be like, hey, I'm outside. I'd like to buy something. And he's like, all right, cool. And jumps
Yeah,
up. And
fantastic.
Well, I knocked on
follow
the door.
instruction. We're letting you in.
I knocked on the door once, called, and then this lady walked up with me, and you denied her but let me in.
Yes, I did.
Oh, the best is when I show
I straight up will do that. And I should have been working in Germany in '88. I would have kept the wall up.
Because I show up and somebody pulls in and they're like, well, they like want to be a customer. And
They
I'm
wanna
like-
be a
And
customer.
I'm like walking up with the key going, I'm going to play this out for a minute.
I let Parker in, and I'm like, "Hey, come on in, Parker." And I put my hand up.
I came to get the stuffed box.
I heard Renee had a freshly stuffed box.
Yeah,
That was it.
she texted me. She's like, "You're in Lakewood. You just want to pick it up?" I'm like, "Sure." Well, I'll throw in some more. I'll stuff some more stuff in the
Some more
box.
stuff in my
Save
box.
on the shipping.
Tom, have you had a Klingon? So like I'd be out filling the bike up at the gas station, come back, and
Oh,
the
no, that's
dude
his
would
job.
no, but the dude would see me coming through the door, and next thing I know, remember I'd walk in and the
yeah.
dude followed me. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, what? How did you get in here?
Oh, it is a membrane. It is a membrane
no.
that only staff
There
can make it
was-
through.
Yeah,
There was one morning, so far there's only been one morning where I showed up the exact same
Yeah.
time somebody else showed up in a car.
Yeah.
And I'm walking towards the door and he's walking towards the door. I'm like, I'm going to let him get there first.
Let him get there first.
'Cause
Yeah.
I still don't have ClevelandMoto gear. I'm still wearing my old shirts.
You can have as much as you want.
I'm still wearing my old FX Moto shirts. It's fine.
There's for a little while, our Uncle Sam, he paid me to live in this part of Africa called Tunisia. And Tunisia is beautiful. I mean, don't believe me, guys. Tunisia is gorgeous. I cannot oversell it. It's a beautiful place. And it is great, especially if you're 20 years old. And if you're 20 years old and you want to see parts of the world that you've never seen before, having Uncle Sam send you and the rest of your brigade to Tunisia is pretty cool, right? It's pretty neat. But the problem really wasn't Tunisia. The problem was Libya. And that was a Gaddafi thing. You know, there was some tension there. It's an understatement of the century. And Tripoli is the headquarters of the PLO. And things have happened there. It's been a very kind of interesting, energetic part of human history.
Yeah, I mean, it seems
Yeah.
kind of active.
It's active. There's things happening.
But
And
don't they have
so
like one of the best aquifer systems in Africa?
you would know that.
The sewer guy.
How do they do with hydrodynamics? Let me tell you, I couldn't fucking tell you. But here's what I can tell you is as soon as I got off the boat, they flew us in on the plane, they put the tanks on the boat, and we were stationed in this little beach town that was directly across the water from Libya. Hey, you know, we're just training. Don't worry about it. We're not even here. And immediately, as soon as we got there, I was like, ooh, when can I go? When can I go to Morocco? And all the people were like, we're on deployment, asshole. And I was like, but sooner or later, I'm going to get a 48-hour pass because that's the way the Army works.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to travel the whole world while I was in the Army. I never stayed put. And I never came home. My mom was pissed. So I joined for the military for 7 years.
Yeah.
No reason to come home. And so I kept checking. And I was like, well, as soon as I get a 2-day or 3-day pass, fuck you, I'm going to Morocco. Because that's only 600 miles away.
1, 2, 3.
One day over, one day back.
One day over, one day back. It's exactly right. And I got to do 1 day in, 1 day there, and 1 day back. And it's a really funny thing because I'd convinced 2 or 3 of my idiot friends, look, we're 20 years old. Mm-hmm. We're in Africa. We got to like go on a fucking safari, even though it's the wrong part of Africa. Yeah. And we were like, we got to go to Algiers. And I was like, well, we can go. I was getting out our 1 to 50,000th army maps, and I'm getting out military maps, and I'm going, well, Algiers is here, and Tangiers is here and Morocco's here. Thunder Run. Let's go. Yeah. And that was when we discovered that those Mercedes-Benz buses that go like 100 miles an hour through villages. And they just like open the door and people fall out. And then they open the door and people fall in.
Stop's coming up, roll.
Oh my fucking God. And like you're going through a place like the whole village has a dollar value of like $7, right? But a Mercedes bus that costs like $250,000 then never goes below 70 miles an hour as it goes through the village.
Tuck and roll.
And when they pass each other, they open the window and the one guy puts his hand out and the other guy puts his hand out and they high five. As one Mercedes bus is clearing the dirt off the other Mercedes bus. Yeah. It's terrifying how fast they are.
Well, and they're taking those tight turns like they're, GP racers.
Until you've been to that part of the world and realized like parts of Tunisia aren't doing so good. And so you'll see like a Peugeot 204, Peugeot 205. The French had a strong influence there. And you see these old cars from the 70s and 80s and shit that are barely holding it together. I've been in the back of a Peugeot taxi cab with 3 or 4 other Americans fucking loaded on illegal wine and had go head to head with a Mercedes bus and watched our taxi driver just put it in the fucking sand. Because he's like, you can't win against a tourist bus. Wow. That is the spine of the economy right there. And so they have the right of way in every situation. It's a big, giant, monolithic, it's black tourist bus.
It's just like ship rules.
It is. It is exactly. Ship rules. It is nautical rules. Law of the sea. Fucking terrifying. And every single time I'd be like, oh, this is great. We're having a good time. One of those fucking goddamn Mercedes fucking buses would just push us into the I'd say weeds, but there's no weeds. No. There's only water bottles. Like that is the tribute. Like if you traveled in, there's 2 things. There's sand and there's plastic. So when you look off to the horizon, you see sand and plastic. Because there's more sand than you can get rid of and there's more plastic than you can get rid of. And that's the way North Africa is. Yeah.
So I did not bring with me the YouTube video on the motorcycle going up and down that one pass. But if you look up Cadillac, Morocco.
Morocco, yeah.
That shows that turn, it's the Dales or something like that. I forget what it's called.
It's 1L, yeah. I'm sure we can find it.
Yeah, so if you run that video, that'll give you a good idea of how we had to take that thing up. So that's some world famous thing. So Cadillac recorded a commercial on their, I don't know, CTS or whatever.
It's for the CTS. Yeah. And that's a lot of car companies have used that particular piece of road to show their performance of their vehicles. It's just incredibly scenic. And of course there's going to be the Biarritz and everything because that's the search. But that particular video, it's this road.
Yeah.
So it's the Tisdarin Pass, and it's the second most winding road in the world. And I don't know what the standards are for most winding roads. I've been in the Dolomites. I've been in Northern Europe. I've been to Lombard Street in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. I've been to a lot of very twisty roads. And this is fucking frightening, and it's the Dades Gorge Road.
It's not fair though. Lombard's not. It's just a seesaw. It's not even a road. Like you're not riding up. No,
you're basically fun, right. You're basically just going up the hill, turning around, and going down the hill.
Yeah.
And that's the Dades Road, and that's a legendary fucking road that. Like the Dolomites, like anywhere, it's where the driver going up the hill and the driver going down the hill can high five prior to entering the turn. Mm-hmm. They're frighteningly steep, and again, not all of them have that 1 foot tall little barrier.
But that's essentially all they had.
Look, man, I've traveled a lot.
If you missed it,
I've traveled a lot in the Alpine region, where you get a stone painted white every 12 feet.
Yeah.
And that's it. And you get like in the middle of the night, I'm driving, at the time, I had an old BMW, an R69, and I'm driving my BMW in the middle of the night because I spent too long at my girlfriend's house. And
That 6-volt light really puts out a lot.
fuck that bike, man. Yeah, that R69. I know everyone's like, oh, dude, that's a part of BMW history.
I want one.
Trust me, I know. And living in Germany when I did in 1987, an R69 was just an 18-year-old motorcycle nobody wanted. And it wasn't like an R69 US that was this, transplanted piece of nirvana. It was just a motorcycle, and it was a cheap motorcycle, and it was a motorcycle I could buy for $700 as a private in the Army. So it was pretty decent. But driving up those roads where you basically only have one white rock every 12 feet, and the white rocks are stitching your ride home together. Yeah.
So you talk about how cheap BMWs were in Germany because they literally are nothing there.
No, they're nothing there.
So same instance, my dad was Air Force
Yep.
in Germany,
Yep.
won his BMW in a poker game,
Yep.
like you do.
Like you do.
He's still mad at himself because he left it behind. They
Yeah.
would have brought it home, and he's like, "Nah, I'll get one when I get home."
Nope. And that is the truth. I mean, for lack of a better term, when I purchased my motorcycle was not special. My motorcycle was I literally bought it at a breaker's yard that was a breaker. Like, it was just, you want that one? Okay. Yeah. and it was about the cheapest goddamn thing I could buy. But it was one set of Earl's forks away from being desirable, because you could buy a 1969 BMW two ways. You could buy it with an Earl's fork, which meant every American fetish, is going to be all over you. Yeah. Or you could buy it with the telescopic forks, which meant that
they were going to work.
Nobody gave a fuck. And so an R69S is different than an R69 US. So an R69S has a traditional fork. And then the US was the one that everybody wanted.
What was the bike you just pulled up? Had like a 37-gallon.
That
gas
one
tank.
did. I saw that particular.
The Haas?
The Hask. Yeah, that was the Hask.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
No, it
man.
literally is like 7 gallons.
It's massive.
There was one of those at the Piston Power Show.
Yeah.
It was gray and had that big ass tank on it.
And when it's gray, it's bigger.
Yeah, it was fucking massive.
When it's gray,
There's that one that looks like the standard peanut tank.
The
and then
black
there's the
is
other one that has like the
slimming.
sculpted.
Yeah.
They're insane.
But that was my motorcycle when I was 18 years old. And it wasn't because I had a fondness for BMWs. It was this. So my motorcycle came from the factory red. It was this bike, the US, which had the telescopic fork on it. When I bought it, it had been red, but then it had been green, and then it had been black. So every time paint would fall off of it, it would be a different color underneath. So we called it a gobstopper. And but yeah, my motorcycle was 3 different colors by the time I owned it. And it's not a great motorcycle. I don't care what anybody says. My buddy had a Ninja 250. He bought it at the PX, and it was super faster than my bike. Yeah, so that's a thing. But I did ride it through the Dolomites, and I rode it through the Alps, and I rode it all over the fucking place. And you see the turn signals up there on the handlebars? Those are called ox-eye turn signals, or ox-augen turn signals. And it turns out if you're drunk and you fall down a lot, you'll buy these a lot. I had like 7 of them at one point. I'd go into the guy's shop and I was like, I need 2 more ox-augen. And he's like,
valve covers.
Valve cover. Mine were gefuckt. So to use a proper German term, mine were upgefuckt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mine were pretty well smooth.
The number of those that I've had to replace, and somebody went, you know what, JB Weld will work just fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did mine, but at the time in 87, 88, 89, the valve covers were about 12 marks.
Yeah.
That's decent. That's like $8.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You can live with that. And they're easy enough to take on and off.
Oh,
so,
yeah. 2 10s and a 13.
2 10s and a 13, you're done. Yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but the Piston Power Show is being sponsored by Summit Racing. Free tickets if anybody needs free tickets.
Is that still happening or is that over?
last week.
It was last week, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was
that
last
happened,
week,
dude.
dude. I won them. I had tickets.
That
I gave them to
happened.
my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
tell us a little bit, now that we've been to Morocco, how about some American twisties? Because Chris survived Portugal,
Yep.
Chris survived
Spain.
Marrakesh, Spain. He survived Marrakesh. He survived Tangiers. Did you go through Casablanca?
No.
Okay, because that shit's crazy.
Yeah, that
That shit's crazy.
too nuts. But
That's
Fez,
crazy, yeah.
Rabat,
Yeah, I don't think I would ever go back to Casablanca. Yeah.
schmaltz.
Oh, that's right. You spelled differently. That's it.
The P is silent.
The P is silent. Okay, so tell us about your trip.
So me, Dan, Nick, and Johnny Mac, we went back to the Blue Ridge Mountains this year for our annual, now annual Blue Ridge
right,
Mountains trip. If you've ever traveled with John, which I know you have, he's full of surprises.
Yes.
And so before we even got down there, we had the most amazing time because he introduced me to Buc-ee's, the world's largest gas station, which I am currently wearing the shirt of.
Well, as we found out, Tom,
Wait.
247 pumps.
Oh yeah.
Yes. 247 pumps, 67,000 square feet of gas station on the inside.
Each new one gets bigger.
Each one, 1,000 square feet, John said. Every time they build a new one, they build it 1,000 square feet bigger so that that one is the world's biggest. They have clothing, food, like actually really good food for very affordable prices. Like a good burrito.
This is the small.
That's the small coffee. That is a
This is the
Buc-ee's.
small
And
coffee.
that was probably affordable, right?
Oh,
the
yeah.
cup?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
everything is affordable.
Yeah.
And they pay people. Their general manager makes $250,000 a year.
Oh, yeah.
The employees are
No.
$21.50, or if you work overnight, you add $2 to that. The food
Totally
manager, $125,000 a year.
This is why they're always happy when you go in.
Yeah.
Like everybody that works there is always happy.
Because we
So-
got there at Dark 30.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. No,
and
we
they
get-
still rolled out the brisket for me because I can't have the sandwich.
Bro, we were there at like 11. The first time we stopped because we had to go back on the way back. But when we got there, it was still like 150 people, but it was like 1 a.m. or something. It was
Oh, yeah.
crazy, right?
Well, it's the Disneyland of the South.
Oh yeah, and everybody's happy. They have everything you've ever wanted, anything that you can imagine, anything that you would need for your car, food, anything. It's insane.
It's a flea market and gas station
All in one. Yep, totally worth it.
Yep.
100%.
I was very much disturbed when Tom and we went to the Buc-ee's on the trip back from New Orleans.
Yep.
We stopped at the
The
Buc-ee's
Great Escape.
so we could put 9,000 gallons of fuel in the rental truck.
right.
And I was shocked when I went into Buc-ee's and discovered there were Buc-ee's swimsuits.
Oh
Oh yeah,
Multiple Buc-ee's swimsuits.
yeah. Well, they have everything. They have Bucky fire pits.
There's Bucky
6 foot
lingerie
fire
back
pits
in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
That section.
You got to cover your beaver.
But the food selection, the big bucking
Gotta make
sandwich,
that a
John. So
They'll sell it.
John's-
They will sell that.
John spent $94 on food when we got there. Yes.
When you okay,
100%.
So there's one. They
you
opened
buy?
one.
2 brisket sandwiches, a sausage on a stick, which is great. It's a sausage on a stick wrapped in a burrito.
Oh yeah. They opened one in Leeds, Alabama, literally across the street from Barber Motorsports.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
This is where you eat now.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. If you're at Barber, trust me, if you're at Barber, you're eating at Buc-ee's.
You're-
Yeah.
Because a slice of pizza at Barber is $17.50.
Yeah.
A Pepsi at Barber is $12.50. You can walk to Buc-ee's.
Oh, yeah.
And you walk into Buc-ee's and you're like,
Reasonable
Okay.
price.
I
Yeah.
am surprised the tram doesn't run there. Yet.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally fucking agree. I completely agree.
So, anyway.
So continue.
So we leave Bucky's.
Yeah.
Wait. Before you say that, John bought a Bucky's onesie.
Yes.
It's like
It's
a
a-
Furby. And he walks in Monday or Tuesday because he was off Monday with this Furby on.
Yes.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's just like, what the hell? What the
He
hell
bought
is that?
what he bought
the
was
Bucky's onesie.
Buc-ee's
It makes him
pajamas.
look like
Oh, yeah.
a fucking
Hey.
6'5", 310-pound
Yes.
beaver.
Oh yeah.
He literally does look like a terrifying, demented. It's a beaver suit. Let's just call it what it
Yeah.
is. It's a fucking beaver suit.
So-
but on John, the fact that they make this thing in a triple extra and ginormous.
Well, he asked all the people there. He's like, should I buy this? And everybody in the store went, yes.
It's $25,
Yeah.
Steve.
Phil.
Yeah.
Phil. Of course they make it in his size. This is
Because
the
that's
small.
the small.
He's a big guy.
The double extra large beverage has wheels.
Yeah.
It's a fucking water buffalo from the military that's painted red with a beaver on the side, and they're like, "That's the big gulp."
Oh, yeah,
it's
no.
the super big gulp.
It's like the fuel pod and Fury Road.
Yep,
on the back
absolutely.
Of the track. Full of coffee.
So John did show up today at the shop with the Buc-ee's beaver
Suit.
Yeah, with a hashtag beaver tail. Legit.
Oh,
yeah.
No, it's legit. Yeah,
It's
great.
legit.
Oh, yeah.
For $25, I've never seen $24.95. I checked. There's nothing so legit. And can you imagine the 9-year-olds in China trying to figure out what the fuck they're making?
I know.
Because they're like, okay, this is bigger than my house.
Yeah.
It has a beaver tail.
This is for one man?
This is for one man. All we know is it's a tanuki with a red hat. Yeah. That's it. It's so fucking bizarre. Okay.
I mean, legitimately, when you used it before the giant expansion of Buc-ee's taking over, when you hit the border at Texas, it says Buc-ee's 377 miles.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
And you have to drive, and you're like, what the hell is Buc-ee's? And every 100 miles, they're like, Buc-ee's is not that far ahead. And you're like,
any poor child from Cleveland that's ever been driven to Disneyland knows that you're going to see signs for south of the border.
yep.
As soon as you start hitting West Virginia,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna be like, what's south of the border? And eventually you're gonna get there and you'll be like, okay, that's like 17 concrete dinosaurs.
Yep.
And it's a bad decision.
And a rocket ship.
And a rocket ship
And
and
a sombrero.
And a lot of fucking sombreros.
Yeah.
Or as they said, Pedro says, you never saw such a deal. Sausage, get it? Yeah. Anyway.
But like, Buc-ee's is the payout for
Buc-ee's
travel.
is a nationwide version of south of the border.
It is. But on top of that, though, it is very clean. It is the food is affordable.
yeah.
Everything. The gas is affordable. There's no bad end. Except for the people, like when we hit the day, it's insanely crowded.
Except for the fact that if you want to go from pump 1
and leave.
to pump 147, you're going to go through a time zone.
Yeah.
Like-
it's long.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is.
Like I got the truck, like, because I got a giant truck with a giant trailer.
Because it almost held almost held all my bikes. There's still 5 left.
And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to turn the truck around and get staged so that when Tom and Becky come out of the Buc-ee's, I'll be at least pointing in the right direction.
Right.
Well, what I realized is that Buc-ee's sits on a piece of property. Like the IX Center is smaller.
Yeah, right.
Right.
No, it's huge.
You know, the Northrop Grumman, Boeing is smaller than your average Buc-ee's.
Right.
And Buc-ee's is a city unto itself.
Yep.
And now that I know that Buc-ee's exists, there is no concern over Walking Dead. There is no concern over like bombing of America. No, because Buc-ee's exists. And as long as Buc-ee's exists, there'll be 90,000 gallons of diesel
Right.
under the ground.
Yep.
There'll be 200,000 gallons of 87 octane under the ground. And all the food that comes on a stick or a roller that you could ever want.
I am surprised they don't have demolition derbies yet.
At Buc-ee's?
Because they're that big.
They are
Might as
that
well be a
big. They're
country
pretty
fair.
fucking big. They're pretty fucking big. It's a place where there's like, oh, well, I got to get some air because we had a soft tire in the trailer. So, you know, rental trailer, we had a soft tire. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to find the air, which is hilarious. I'm driving around Buc-ee's trying to find the air outlet. And I realized that the air outlet was its own fucking mecca.
It had its own island.
It did. The air outlet was like 7 air outlets. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. That's cool. And I was like, well, I'm not sure because, you know, you're driving a 26-foot long truck and, you know, you got a 20-foot long trailer. You got a lot of shit going on. I was like, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to sidle up next to this thing. No, I could have sidled up with a fucking 737. Space was not an issue at Buc-ee's. That's not it. That is where asphalt goes to die.
Yep.
Yeah, that is.
It's Walmart parking lot plus.
Oh my! It is so big. Buc-ee's. Yeah, and what do? You stop, you fill up your gas tank, you take a shit, you
spend a lot of
grab
money on
$30
food.
worth of food, and off you fuck.
Or
So
John.
getting back to North Carolina.
Right on. Thanks, Chris.
So anyway, bring this back around.
So John made me drive at one point at
All right.
night. And so like I basically pulled up. So Nick once again killed the Airbnb. It was in the middle of the mountains.
God bless him.
Middle of nowhere. Mountains. But we got there at 3 a.m.
Right.
And if you know when you're driving into the mountains up there, like I'm like your headlights are going into the sky and you really can't see where you're going. So I'm pulling up both of our bikes in the trailer in John's car. And I'm like, well, here's the address, but I don't see a house.
Okay.
And so he gets out with this flashlight. And he's like, I don't see anything either. Then he goes like this and then goes down like that. And our house is like a 45-degree angle down like this. So now we got to high side the trailer.
Right.
Well, first of all, I have to back the trailer up now because we missed the driveway by about 15 feet.
And it's a Kendon, which is unback-upable.
Right. So then
Yeah.
you look forward and it's like, should we go forward? And it was blackness and a dirt road. And we're like, yeah, no. So we literally inch by inch by inch backed the trailer up and then got it down. We got to the house. House was great.
Inch by inch.
Inch by inch.
Step by step.
Right.
Niagara Falls.
Place had a wonderful man soup container. So like every day we got to all get in there and make man soup. And it was really nice.
Is it a 6-person hot tub?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Or
we
two,
had-
two ClevelandMoto guys.
Yeah, basically. But so we had that. But anyway, so the roads are great, unbelievable. Dan did an amazing job of finding roads. So we rode like I think it was 212 or 216.
And he's rocking his Tiger 880, or no, his Tiger 660.
Yeah. So we headed out on that. So anyways, so first of all, we show up. I got my Africa Twin. Dan's got his Tiger. John's got his Versys, and Nick brings out his 1956 fucking Super Hawk that
With Chris Smith's old motor.
Christmas old motor where like before he left, he says, I got everything ready. I put oil in it. And I said, okay.
So he's got a 66
Yeah.
Super Hawk.
So by the first day at 2, Nick was already broken.
67. Yeah. Right.
So-
he was already broke. He showed up broke on the
Yeah.
trailer.
So, but John at that point, John took one for the team and said, I'm going to hang out with Nick. Why don't you and Dan go ride?
Oh, okay.
And it was about 10:30 in the morning. and I
Because
was-
John would rather fucking poke fucking screwdrivers at a
Yeah,
Super
there was
Hawk.
there was a carburetor to be taken apart. So he was happy as hell. Yeah. So him and Nick.
if I can smoke cigarettes and drink a beer while I'm torturing this carburetor.
Oh, that all happened. The Airbnb we kept very, very nice.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the gas smell will ever come out of the garage.
It will never come
There's the
out.
gas pumps.
Yeah. But so me and Dan fucked off, and Dan had picked all these routes, and so we did 236 miles at about 30 miles an hour with our knees. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah.
It was good. And so, it took me about 2 hours to get used to, because I had vertigo really bad for a minute. Because you start looking off, and I kept looking off the goddamn side of the mountain. It freaked me out.
Yeah.
So I finally trained myself once again to just stare at the yellow lines and watch them.
Right.
And so after a couple hours in, we started ripping, man. We started doing, we were hammering pretty good and not much of a chicken strip going at it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, God damn, Dan got better. Like Dan's there,
Dan
like,
be-
to the point.
Dan got a Tiger 660.
Yeah. And he learned how to ride it. I mean, not learn, but he got accustomed to it.
Right.
And so Dan is he's throwing down, man.
Because Dan's always been like old British bucks.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but we were doing pretty good, and he was hanging with me going, and then we hit some traffic, and I got pissed because like there's all these.
What'd you call him? Dan and Tino Rossi?
Well, not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. But he did become that. So we're sitting there, and these two cars get there, and they have all these places because like that area knows people come down there to ride motorcycles.
They're called a scenic pull-off.
That or it actually says, if you are slow, please pull off and let the faster traffic by.
Right.
They literally say that now, right?
Yeah.
So this fucking Honda Accord in the best part, like the best, like I thought I was in California fucking
Right.
part of this road.
Right.
This dude's doing 20. And then he slows down to like 5 for the fucking hairpins, right?
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, now I'm mad. Like
Right.
this has gone on for like a mile. So I'm riding all the tails. I'm like on top of the guy's bumper. I'm
Okay.
in first gear, just fucking wheeling, like move, fucker, And so Dan's laughing and he's behind me. So finally the Accord pulls off.
Right.
And the STI in front of me goes, want to play?
Oh, yeah, right.
So he takes off and I kind of lost it and I started chasing him.
Yeah.
So next thing I know, I didn't realize how hard we were hammering it. I'm like, whoa, and like cliffs, 1,000-foot cliff. I don't care. I'm fucking hammered like this. And I look and Dan's not there anymore. He's back there several, right? So when we finally get to the end of
They
the thing,
call that red mist.
oh yeah. So we get to the end of this 218 where there's like a little bar. The STI fucking throws up the hell
Nice,
yeah,
there
dude.
you go.
And then we passed a whole group of like 30 sport bike dudes
Yeah.
as we were coming out to the
Yeah.
end, and they were all like, yeah, because
Nice.
I had my top box on and the African whatever. So then, so me and Dan kept riding. So then after that,
Try that on a Vespa. You get mad respect.
oh, I'm sure, yeah.
That's it.
But Dan found these other roads. So basically,
Yeah.
if you say avoid highways,
Yeah.
the roads are amazing.
Yeah.
Like everywhere, like beautiful, just curved. So we found some that
People
were like,
live there,
oh yeah,
and the state decided they should be able to get home.
yeah,
Right.
But they also made them real squiggly. And they also, like, they banked them right. But Dan found these roads, I swear, like, we were doing like 95, 100 miles an hour on these sweepers.
Yeah.
And it would be like, it was kind of a highway, but not really a highway.
Yeah.
But they would go and they were banked like a motherfucker.
Right.
And then we go like this. So we're hammering. We're doing like
just
85,
pure roller
90, just
coaster shit.
rolling,
Yeah.
right? And all of a sudden to my left, I'm getting passed. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it's a state trooper. And he's like, and I was like, okay,
Oh, fill your fucking trousers.
that's good.
Dude,
So-
he's got places to be, and you're in the way.
I think he just, well, no, he came so close to us. He was fucking with us.
Oh, yeah.
Like he just came by.
No,
and
that's
was-
called strafing.
Yeah. It's
he was
exactly what he
strafing you
did.
at that point.
So,
Yeah.
but
he's like, look at you guys. You're adorable.
yeah, you're
Hold
adorable.
on. I got a Dodge fucking Charger.
Yeah.
I got a shitty Dodge Charger with way too much weight in it.
Yeah.
But I'm so good with this thing.
Yeah. He's,
Okay, all right. Hillbilly coming out here.
Yeah.
You drive these roads
Every day.
yeah.
Like, y'all are like, oh my God, we found these amazing roads. I'm like, oh my God, it looks like the road next to my mom's house.
Yeah, my mom was my mom could drive Route 6 and she could drive 87 and like my mom knew Middlefield to like the back of her fucking hand. And so she could get around guys in a 78 Dodge Omni.
well, yeah, you'll see some dudes in a clapped out
Yeah.
fucking Ford F-150
Yeah.
with like a spare tire and
Yeah.
they're going through.
Oh, every year we go to band camp. I'm driving some big ridiculous thing with big ridiculous things behind it. And I'm like, man, I'm killing it in these curves. I'm just totally doing this perfectly. And literally a mail truck will go up on the inside of me. That's like,
DJ5, right?
yeah. And I'm like, and that used to be an S10. All right.
But that is the thing though, man. Like
yeah.
2 or 3 days are really like ripping the things and you start to get into it. All I know is next year I'm taking my Z900 though. I'm not
Imagine if
fucking
that
around
was how you
anymore.
got to work in the morning.
It would be fucking
Our
amazing.
friends that live in Scotts Valley and our friends that live in Santa Cruz, where that's just how they get to work in the morning. Yeah.
Smaller displacement, not larger.
Yeah. I've been to a lot of those rallies where they're 50 cc's, 200 cc's limit. And it's kind of fantastic. My favorite thing for the Dragon and all the areas around the Dragon is a Honda CB1. 400cc fuel, our 400cc liquid cooled.
You did have the Gilera at Dragon.
Yeah, of
back
course.
In
Yeah, that was one of the times that bike was the best was a Gilera Runner, 180cc 2-stroke.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because it was always in the right gear.
Oh yeah.
It never left 8,000 RPM.
Well, that's what. So we're talking, and so Dan was like, "I'm missing something." He goes, "You're able to come out of the end of the turns way faster." And I said, "Well, what gear are you in?" He's like, "3rd and 4th." I'm like, "You're a gear too high,
you're
dude."
gear too high.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"You got to bring that sucker up to like you want to be at like 10 grand."
It's a 660.
So the next day,
Let it sing.
Dan slapped down a gear.
Oh, he did.
And all of a sudden, he's Captain Fay. He was doing great, right?
Certainly
we
got
get
his fucking minerals.
He did. He got some sativa. No, he got some sativa. He was ready to go. It was good. So Nick, we get back and we're telling the story about how good Dan was riding and stuff, And I'm like, he was almost like Rossi. And Nick, to Nick's credit, said Danantino
Rossi.
And I was like, fuck, that's his name.
That's his name from now on.
Man. So
Yeah.
Dan has been christened Danantino Rossi.
So I do have to ask. I mean, I don't want to be a dickhead or anything,
Yeah.
but the Super Hawk.
Yeah.
Because I mean, my DNA's on that bike. Chris's DNA's in that bike.
Yeah.
Did it run ever?
John got it going again a little bit. It had a charging issue, so they got it down
It's
to
always had a
the
charging issue. Yeah.
So Nick won't buy one. He's going to rewrap the stator himself. And John told him how, so they're going
Yeah.
to work on that. So Nick actually, the final day, Nick got to ride with us in his CRV.
Oh my God.
Look. Rick's will redo it for you for nothing.
It's right,
Rick's will
No, but
do
you
this.
don't know Nick. Nick wants to rewrap that, and he will do it.
Nick could
And-
put a propeller on the back of the Super Hawk that is creating electricity as he rides to charge that fucking battery just to keep it running, to keep the coils fed.
Well, the first day when we rode, we didn't really ride the twist. We went to like Gatlinburg and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, all the touristy shit.
He made it, I guess, off that battery's juice.
That's all you can do, man.
So he made it 4 or 5 hours.
The
and then
term is
on the way
constant
back,
loss.
Yeah. On the way back, we got down to about 30 miles an hour. Yeah, that was the day. That's when we all went out. And so there, you'll see there's another picture of John on a
I love
building.
how there's this henge. I mean, it is Mount Rushmore of John Wayne,
Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley. I know it's supposed to be Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, it's not, but it is. Yeah, it's supposed to be.
That's somebody's wife. And then Hitler, but then Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
They made it a little longer.
Fair enough. Oh, okay.
Stretched
All right,
it out
cool.
a little bit.
Yep. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's in Dollyland.
I was
area,
going to say
whatever
that's
it's
got to
called.
be in Pigeon Forge.
Yeah, Pigeon Forge.
Yeah, Pigeon
which
Forge.
Dan is not a fan of.
No.
Dan was like, "Do we really have to stop?" And we're
No.
like, "Yes, we have to stop.
No.
At least
And you see the Titanic restaurant and the Titanic
We would
restaurant
have
and
pictures,
theater.
but Dan didn't want to stop, so I
Look,
didn't get any
fuck
pictures.
Pigeon Forge.
Yeah.
Like
There's elk.
Yeah.
we saw elk.
Yeah, I watched Pigeon Forge go from being like a wide spot in the road we'd stop and have sandwiches to being what it is today, which is just white trash fucking Vegas.
It's terrible.
It's a
and you know what
disaster.
they've done now?
Yeah.
All the guys from Mid-Ohio appreciate this. They have saturated it with rental side-by-sides.
Yes.
So now not only do you have to deal with traffic and everything,
You
you got
deal with
fucking
side-by-sides.
side-by-sides
Yeah.
everywhere, man.
That's
it's
pretty
it's
much.
Branson without the
It's. I was going to say it's
Yeah.
Branson without. Yeah. It's
So
Pigeon
and
Forge.
then so then when me and Dan were riding, I have discovered that you can be too high in the mountains. Literally.
You have a little bit of a low altitude stoke going on there.
Well,
Or high altitude
in the middle
stoke?
of a ride, I completely forgot how to ride a motorcycle.
See, that's how you know you're not a local.
Yeah. So that was interesting. And then we just had a great time. A lot of guitar playing, a lot of picking, a lot of stupid stuff. I think we've introduced Nick to a lot of substances that he didn't know existed before.
You know what? I almost feel bad that Nick found us.
So now somebody said, "Is Nick trying to osmosisly get old?"
Yeah, I think Nick. I think we've accidentally aged
I
Nick.
mean, what is he, like 18?
No, he's like 30 or something.
He's 30.
Oh, that picture? No.
I'm telling you.
You know what? He's a promising young electrical engineer who just fell in with the wrong group of guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
he's
did.
an engineer. That's why he's going to rewind his own state.
Yes, all of the
And
things.
to his credit, he's kept up his record and he puked. So every
Oh, he
time we
did
do
puke?
something,
Oh, God bless him.
How was your food?
food was great.
Yeah, did you guys cook?
Oh, we cooked. We did some stuff. Johnny Mac did his thing, made breakfast and stuff. And then the one night they left a choice up to me since I'm the guy with the
Yeah,
eating
you
disorder.
got dietary
And
restrictions.
I just picked the most greasy, worst place I could find, and they loved it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They were pounding down some good snacks, and it was good.
I mean, ultimately, it sounds like you guys really did have a fantastic trip.
We always do, man. I mean, it's fun just to hang out. We shut off. We don't really interact with the phones too much.
No, get back.
Bourbon, apples.
there.
Yeah, right? Come on.
That's baby.
Yeah, that's pretty fantastic.
Oh,
Dutch
yeah.
baby, bring it on. Yeah, that's cool when you travel with a good group of guys like that. That's absolutely fantastic.
And this guy's house was really, really nice. I think we did a really good job of putting it back together for him, so that
He is not going to notice the scorch marks.
No.
no.
Yeah, I mean, game on, man. That's super cool. I'm glad you had a fantastic trip. And that's what motorcycle adventures are meant
None
to
of
be,
us
man.
died. Nobody lost anything.
Nobody got hurt.
I did lose a
died.
rondel. Off my fucking African twin, but I replaced it with some Grateful Dead shit, so I'm fine.
Oh, you mean I
The
saw the
rondel,
nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not the
No.
nose, the side. I actually
really?
lost a rondel. Yeah, it fell off
Get
somewhere.
the fuck out
Yeah.
of here. All right.
And also,
Honda quality control is not what it used to
we
be.
talked about that.
Right?
no,
Parts didn't fall off of Hondas before.
Nope.
And
But
now
then-
they do.
Yep.
to our credit of
Yeah,
Cleveland
okay.
Moto credit.
Yeah.
We did drive 10 and a half hours, have a great trip, and then we went to go to the Wheels Through Time, and they opened this week.
They opened today.
We missed it by
They
4
opened today.
Yeah,
actually.
we missed
Today's
it by
opening
on
day for
Facebook.
Wheels
They
Through
opened-
and we left on Monday, so we missed
showed
it
up a
by
week early?
3 days. We missed it by 3 days. So then we were like, well, if we just hang out here, maybe they're going to try to start a bike or something. But they never did. So yeah,
That's fantastic that
Your
you showed up.
ukulele is adorable.
that's a mandolin.
That's a
God damn it!
That's a mandolinian.
Mandalorian.
It's a mandolinian.
This is the way.
This is the way. I'm just fucking think it's hilarious that you could show up because I did.
Oh, I forgot. Hold on.
I showed up at the Talbot Museum, in the mountains of Santa Cruz, in California. I was on my CB400F and having a great time enjoying the whole Pacific Coast, driving up the Pacific Coast on a beautiful 70s motorcycle. And I'm having a great time and I'm stopping at all the things, Alice's restaurant, doing all the stuff you ever want to do and really just enjoying myself and really getting to know some, green chili soup and like the whole thing. And every time somebody's like, oh, well, Hunter S. Thompson used to go get kicked out of that place. I'll go there.
Yeah, right. You gotta check it out.
Right. And so locals would just tune me on to different shit. And my friends would be like, oh, if you're in this town, I'm like, what the fuck is in that town? Asparagus. Okay, I'll fucking go. I don't give a shit, right? I'm going to go, goddammit, because I'm on a motorcycle.
Right.
So I'm going to start at San Diego and I'm just going to drive north. And I'm just going to keep driving north until there's nothing else to drive. And I had a great time on me in a 1975 Honda CB400F and just cruising up the coast and really got to see some super cool shit. But that is the one thing that I love, that idea of doing it on just a really old analog thing that's, that you can hear it. And as you're riding the bike, you don't want a distraction because your ear is listening to 297,000 moving parts.
And waiting for every single one of them to break.
Yeah. And you're literally going, well, wait, hold on. That wasn't the same as it was for the past 11 hours. Right. But there was something about that particular trip, and I really enjoyed it. I really had a great time going through Gilroy and all the weird places that you can go in California that aren't desirable. And you can really have a great time. And you just do that, and you disappear into the thing, and the locals will tell you where to fucking go.
Well, that's what I'm going to... not that anybody ever would doubt that I'm not obsessive compulsive about anything I do.
Yeah.
So, of course, we're down there, and I brought guitars, and we're all playing me and trying to play them, but I didn't bring a good enough guitar, so I decided to look what the locals had available. And so I found a really insane deal on a Martin that I really kind of wanted.
Yeah.
So I did some interchanging with the old Googler and stuff like that, and next thing you know, originally it was this girl that was really cute, and I was like, okay, she's gonna be nice to talk to.
OnlyFans turned into a guitar sale?
No.
Okay,
So she said, you need to talk to my dad. I said, okay, cool.
And that's what she has to say a lot in her neighborhood.
So I throw the guy a text, and he goes, well, why don't you give me a call? Just a text. So
You've been talking to my cousin, aunt, nephew, niece?
No, but I call the guy, and as soon as he's like, how you doing, man? He's like a straight up dude. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. We talk about it. He's like,
put on your Billy Strings t-shirt.
Yeah, no, not yet. So I talked to him, whatever, and so I'm gonna go get this guitar. And John and everybody's like, really?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, all right. Really? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, how much is it? I'm like, it's a lot, but I'm going to get this guitar. All right. Okay. Yeah. They're like, do you want to? We're not going to come with you though. And I'm like, that's fine. And he's like, so if we don't hear from you in about 4 hours, should we come looking for you? I'm like, I guess. So the dude gives me his address, and I drive to it. It's about 25 minutes away, still in Waynesville. And when I started going out there, I mean, it was out there, man. It was like, it's in the hills. And so I turn down this one corner, go down a thing, turn around.
It's called a holler.
It's called a holler, yeah.
A holler or a dell or whatever you want to call it. So anyways, I go around this corner, and there's literally like 15 guys in bib overalls with straw and shit. And I'm like, okay. So I pass them, and then the road turns kind of like smaller, and I'm going, and then it's beautiful, man. Like mountains, hills, all this stuff. Dude's got a spread. So I get there, I get up there. Harley dude, like straight beard down to here, no hair. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to not be myself and just smile and, whatever. Yeah. We start talking. The guy's fucking cool. And he's like, yeah. He goes, what kind of music you like? I'm like, I like bluegrass or that. And he goes, and strangely enough, I like reggae. He goes, get the fuck out of here. He's like, those are my two favorite things. So now we're talking. He's 70 years old. He's like, so can you play that thing? He's like, let me hear you play it. So I tune the thing up and stuff. I put playing some bluegrass tunes. He's like, shit, you can play. Honey, come here. Next thing you know, I'm giving a concert for these two folks.
Yeah, yeah.
And they are the nicest people ever.
And I believe I hear the price falling in the distance.
It did. It went down. It went down because now we're pals, which was great.
Right.
But then he goes, so then we talk for like an hour and a half. Yeah. He shows me his Harley, which is a 1996. They only had him for a while. It's got the 21-inch front wheel.
It's a Softail FL, FLST.
It's the special. It's the
FLART.
Yeah, but it's the special. It's the special one. It's got like they called it something like the bad boy or the stinky guy or whatever.
Yeah.
If it's got a pizza cutter in the front, and it's not a Springer, right?
No, it was. It had the double
Springer.
Yeah, Springer.
Yeah, that's
Springer. So Springer. I don't know Harley, so it was nice. It was a really nice bike.
Steve, there's a lot of letters involved.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, there's a lot of action.
Wait. It may be an FLART XT.
It could be. That sounds about right.
It could be a Dyna douchebag.
Anyways, but the guy took care of it. The guy was nice. He rides, does whatever.
No, it's
So anyway, so we go back in, talk some more, and then he's like, you're the most interesting person I've ever met. let's be Facebook friends. And so I was like, you can be, but I'm going to warn you.
That's how you end up in a basement, Steve. Don't be too interesting.
Now I got a friend. Now I got a friend down there. This guy is cool as shit.
I'm
But
sure
anyways,
he is.
I come back 4 hours later.
I was going to say, what are the boys back at camp doing?
Well, nobody texted to find out if I was dead. And everybody seemed to be happily drinking and having a great time.
They did attempt to text.
No.
But
Shit.
you got no reception.
They didn't
That
do
was
shit.
Because you were up the holler.
You know what they did?
They were happy. Well, Nick was going to ride my bike.
I was going to say, they were already dividing up your gear, Steve.
I know.
Look, after 2 hours,
Oh yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. So, yeah. no, it was-
all I can see Nick is going like, I could rock an Africa twin.
Somebody is wearing his skin as a suit.
2 hours, we'll never find him.
No, but you know what? That's what I did learn. So like,
Yeah.
like most people are pretty fucking nice.
Yes, they
You know what I mean? Like
Fantastic.
unbelievably nice guys. man.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What's that line again? People's is people's.
Yep.
Yeah.
People's is our people. But anyways, we're definitely going to do it again next year.
You
I think
should,
We're
yeah.
going to slide it probably a week and a half so we can go to the wheels through time.
Let me
Yeah.
let me know.
Catch
My
that
brother's
extra
got a
3
place
days.
about 45 minutes from there.
Make
so-
sure the mountains are open by then. Yeah.
40 in the morning. Like, so, okay. So that's the other thing. If we push it a couple weeks, it might be a
Right.
little warmer.
Yeah.
It was about
Because you all
40.
did look chilly.
It was 40 in the morning
Yeah.
and then about 60 for
all
riding. It wasn't bad. But when me and Dan rode that day, we did hit 3 states. So we went to North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia.
Yeah.
So we did this
That's
whole
pretty
little loop.
amazing.
Yeah, we did
Well,
some
good
good
for you,
mileage.
man.
But when we got to Georgia, it was like 90. So like I'm in like
Oh, so
I'm
Georgia
in
just
like,
was.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
George don't play.
I was going to say, Georgia's just Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia's
It's
like, I
oh,
don't
it's
care
winter
what-
everywhere else? Fuck you, it's
Yeah.
Georgia.
But I mean, it was abrupt. It was like I was comfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm riding, and
Yeah.
then literally I was like, "Oh, we're in Georgia. Holy fuck!" Like it's like
Georgia doesn't mess around.
No,
Mess around.
man. Yeah, when we do the
We are now the South.
when we do the trip in like August, September and stuff, there's always that point where you can tell when you're in North Carolina. Like Tennessee is always like Tennessee.
yeah.
You're like, okay, we're up in the mountains. We got the elevation, the little lakes and stuff. It's beautiful. And then you're like, you go down a hill, you turn right, and you're in North Carolina.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, fuck, it got hot all of a sudden. Like, when did the humidity land?
Wait.
Yeah.
You've also forgotten the other most important part about once you hit South Carolina.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of Jesus here.
Now that's true too. The Carolinas
Oh,
are
they don't mess
thick
around.
with
There's
Jesus.
You know what
a
was
sign that
fucking
says, "Welcome to
hilarious?
Jesus, I mean South Carolina.
Me and Dan hit a bar.
Yeah.
You know, imagine that.
Yeah.
In Georgia. And so we're sitting there, and they had a really good a non-alcoholic for me, but Dan was
Right.
getting whatever. But then there was a whole bunch of dudes, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking to the owner, me and Dan going back and forth with
Yeah.
the owner, and he's cool. This guy comes up, he's like, "Hey man, let me try to where you all from? You guys got a crazy accent." I was like, "We do." Okay. So I thought that was pretty good.
That's fucking great, man.
I only pull it out for flea markets.
Yeah. I mean, it was
And-
Boomhauer. This dude was
Yeah, oh,
straight
yeah.
up. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, there's we used to do a ride every year in Such-as. And so there's this place called Two Wheels of Such-as, Georgia.
Yep.
And what made this trip worth it, and to get me to go to Georgia, which is far,
Yeah.
it's got to be worth it. But what makes it worth it is this ride is 50 cc's
Oh, jeez.
up and down mountains.
Yeah, not fun.
Oh boy. It's a whole different kind of like energy conservation.
Well, that's
like,
what we had to do when we went to Speculator. We took all of our TNT 135s and monkeys and stuff,
Yep.
and we're riding mountains with cars trying to do 60 as we're doing 40 up the hills and stuff. Like it was.
The Two Wheels of Such-as is a great destination for motorcycle people because every time you get there, you basically take the place over, right? And that's just what it is.
So last thing I want to say about this,
Yeah.
I need investors. I need about 25 million.
Oh, did you find a piece of property?
Dude, so you know how the Dragon has all that stuff?
Yeah.
There's the Rattler. It's like 460 turns and whatever.
Yep.
A guy is selling 197 acres at the start of it. So I was like, man, you could build a moto ranch, you could build dirt bike track, you could build
Wow.
an adventure thing.
Yeah.
Like you could put a whole motorcycling mecca right at the snout of the Rattler.
Right.
And build the Rattler up.
Right.
Put like cabins, hotel, the whole
Yeah.
thing.
And you could be like the new Dragon and make like $38 a year.
Yeah.
And make your
No,
money
but it's
back in
not-
14 years.
No, but it's not just the Dragon though. That's what you got to
Get
do.
sued by every fuckknuckle that comes up and crashes their wide glide.
You got to do adventure rides. You got to do ATV park. Like, yeah, the 197 acres, you could do quite a bit of shit.
All I have to say is
if I'm going hot into a curb and my Reinhardt scratches the
I
pavement,
assure you, the words motorcycle and liability, they are never to be divided. Right? I love the idea, but I've known too many people have said, I'm going to make my living
oh no,
doing motorcycle something.
Right.
And sooner or later, you will discover that there's a fuckknuckle from like Rochester, New York, whose life ambition is to crash a motorcycle and somehow blame you for it.
well,
And then you're
they
going to
are
get to
from
meet
Rochester.
you're going to meet his lawyers for the next 27 years.
Well, you got to go into it the right
Yeah.
guy. You got to know what you're doing.
So Steve, I already did that. But
already did that.
It didn't work out real well because I did it in Nebraska. And it was just 100 miles of straight road.
I bought 100 miles of straight road in Nebraska.
But every 40 yards there was a Runza stop.
I was going to say, do you have at least 2 Cracker Barrels? If you have 2 Cracker Barrels, you're doing great.
I think Nebraska as a state counts as 1 Cracker Barrel.
I was going to say, I was advised to go to the one particular steakhouse that we went to that has all the dead animals on the walls.
Oh, yeah.
Big plus, huge plus.
Is it
So-
Sands or something?
I can't fucking remember.
It's Nebraska. Who
But
cares?
yeah,
I
it's
love
Ollie's.
Nebraska,
It's
so I
Ollie's.
care.
Ollie's.
It's Ollie's.
Nebraska?
Yes.
I do.
It's Ollie's.
Okay.
Yeah. Corn Huskers.
I went to college out there.
Yeah, he did.
Really?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite states. I'd move there in a second. I'm serious.
apparently
I
it's
love
not
the.
a-
No,
it's-
I'm not joking. I like Nebraska. I like it's windy all the time. It's nice.
Dude,
mean,
I would
it's-
move. I would move to Waynesville in tomorrow. That whole area, I love that fucking area. Asheville, Waynesville, whatever you want to call it. Like, there's
So if
all
you're
dudes that look like me, and they all like bluegrass.
If
So
you're a
I'm fucking
motorcycle fucking degenerate, I'd invite you to look at this picture. This picture to me says everything I need to say about 2 wheels of such as. There's a brand new Harley Davidson Panamera.
Yeah.
Next to it is a DRZ SM.
Yep.
happy. RC51.
There's an RC51.
Yep.
Across the parking lot is a PC800.
Yep.
Don't forget about the V-Star.
There's a V-Star right here. Fuck that. There's various different aluminum box transportation systems.
Is that a Buell next to the?
I believe that's a
PC800?
Buell sitting over there. That looks like an 1125 Cafe Racer.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the little red guy next to that
might
scooter?
be a Ducati next to the PC.
Yeah.
And that actually looks like a BMW. See the boxer motor hanging out? Maybe. Maybe not.
No, not with that tail light.
No,
That's a
not with that
GS.
taillight.
Not with that
That's a
taillight.
GS. That's
I
like
was
an
thinking that was a
84.
Yamaha Seika plastic maggot back end, but yeah.
well, it's got-
All
well, how
it
many-
looks like an inline 4.
Yeah, that's I'm telling you, that's a 750, a GS 750.
You think that's the GS 750?
Look at the square tail light.
You're right, square tail light. Oh, look at those turn signals.
yeah,
Those turn signals that are in 2 different time zones.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. So this
Now,
and
that
there's
might be a GS
and there's
next to it.
there's an Indian FTR flat tracker
Oh,
up
God,
here.
Those are amazing.
Right? Oh yeah. So I'm looking at this picture, and then you can see all the Kawasaki
SV650s.
parking. There's the concourse right there, right? So and then
Police
right
bike.
here, you know what that is? That's a Trail 110.
Yeah,
Oh, that's, no, that's the new one.
Oh, is that Trail 125?
brand new-
That is a
brand new
brand new
Trail.
Hunter Cub.
Yep.
Right. So this is one of my favorite gatherings.
yeah, I know.
If
That
you
is a
see
good photo.
That's a good photo. There's a lot of really
Everybody's represented.
everybody's riding there. This is the United Colors of Benetton.
Yep.
This is a Cosby Street gang of motorcycles that doesn't exist in the real world.
Yep.
You got the Sharks and the Jets all hanging out with each other.
Inclusion.
It's
man.
fucking cool, man.
Yeah, that is
But that this is the 2 wheels of such as I've been down here a few different times for small displacement, running through the hills and the mountains. It's fun. It is really fun.
I bet you it is when you have a big group.
Most of these
so the
people
cars
have
don't
far
try
too
to
much
kill you.
motorcycle.
Yeah.
It's good to have a lot less motorcycle. I
That's what I'm
recommend.
saying is
yeah.
you need something small.
Yeah, I
not big to
recommend
ride
like
the
a
curves.
250. Yeah, like a
You do 100
250.
miles an hour around
Perfect.
around a sweeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, but here's the thing. So I did the 250 thing
Yeah.
last year.
You did last year.
And when you come out of it, when you come out at the end of the thing, you're not going any faster when you
you're
came in. Now with this, I can brake, lean into it halfway through the turn. I'm full throttle, fucking pulling through it. It's fucking wonderfully fun, man.
It would be the kind of place where you'd want to just have a rule that says like everybody must have a Grom or Grom-like device.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's like Gromageddon, where everybody basically has a small bike
Yep.
that's something like a Grom, and that's the rule. And everybody has to have something like a
I took my
Grom.
TNT last year.
Right, you did.
But
Yeah.
to ride it aggressively,
Yeah.
you're gonna we'd have to re-gear it. I think I'd have to go down, like probably
No,
two
you
or-
just need to lower your standards. Trust me. Lower your standards.
No, because what happened was it was constantly between gears.
Be surrounded by other inadequate vehicles, and you'll have a better time. But when you're trying to hold yourself against somebody's like Triumph 660 or some shit, yeah, you're gonna feel
I was
terrible.
trying to rip the fucking.
I
turn.
know you
Right,
were.
Yeah, so I mean,
Right.
like, you know, a couple gears
Yeah.
down, it'd be fucking way
you
more.
just need
fun.
a different class of people. That's all.
Look, it's Miatas.
Wait, and your TNT is way faster than my monkey,
Right.
and I have no problem with my monkey.
Yeah, but
Did anybody see the new monkey, by the way?
yeah, the stripy one or the
With the plaid seat?
John
I almost
John
bought
called
it.
him.
So John calls me from North Carolina. He's like, "Look at this! It's a special edition. You have to get it. It's like the golden monkey." And I'm like, "Okay."
It's like the golden
That's what he said.
monkey.
No, that's what he said. I'm like, "Okay."
It's
Is
like
it really?
the golden monkey.
So he's like, he takes a picture of that. And
It's
he sends
beautiful.
It to me.
I love it.
It is gorgeous.
And I said,
Harris is
"Okay."
gonna have to
I said, "Give me
upgrade.
the salesman."
It's gorgeous.
I'm like, because they were advertising it for 42.
Yeah, $43.99, yeah.
They
They
haven't done the Chrome edition yet, have they? Like the Z50.
they haven't done the
Christmas
Christmas.
chrome.
Yeah,
So I
they-
talked to the salesman,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Okay, so I'll give you. How about $42.50 plus tax, and we're good." And I'll buy it right now, because that's what it would be at the place I go to.
Right.
Yeah.
The guy's like, "Well, I have to add like $350 shipping,
Oh, yeah.
and $250 assembly, and $100 or like another $200 for paperwork, and another something or other." So it was like another $800, and I'm like, "I'll just wait for one to come in."
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, I get it. I mean, I understand that.
This
But
is the time I tried to buy an NSR 50. This is the same thing I got.
Same. Look, I can tell you that Honda was one of those. They pulled one of those moves. They were like, "So let me see all the. I understand you want to make a monkey. That's fine. So let me see 26 different versions of a monkey." And the artists all went back and they did 26 different versions of the monkey. And they went, "Okay, we'll take those two for the first year.
Yeah.
And we'll take those two for the second year. And then we'll take those two for the third year. And this bullshit right here, silver on the tank and a white tank with a big silver decal on the side, whatever, and the plaid seat. This is just fan service. That's all this is. This is just fan service. This is when a new Star Wars thing comes out and they make some reference to some obscure shit in Empire that nobody else is going to get, but it's fan service. That's all this is. But it's fucking adorable.
Yep.
It's fucking
Now, do the
adorable.
2023s have the 5-speed ground motor in them?
yes.
Again,
yes,
They
they
do.
do.
they will,
Okay.
but you're buying that because it looks like a fucking Scotty cooler.
Yeah.
You're buying that because it looks like a Coleman cooler circa 1961, right? It's just fucking adorable.
They have the 10-foot exhaust pipe. The manifold comes down, wraps around.
Did you see that?
Comes back up.
Yeah.
And it's
The exhaust
ridiculous.
goes out around the rear tire, comes back up through the rear tire, exits under the seat. Right.
So the first thing you do is you take that entire assembly.
Yeah.
Throw it in the trash.
Throw that in the garbage. Just get rid of that. Just wait for the first thing that says Yoshimura on the side of
yeah.
it. Right.
Not Steve. He's like, I'll keep it just the
The
way it
phone
is.
call to Yoshimura has already happened,
Oh, yeah.
right? That's one of those deals. This gigantic airbox, right? That serves no purpose whatsoever.
To be fair, as a fuel
Well,
injected
where's my
vehicle-
drink?
Fuck, man, I'm empty, and I.
Oh, if you're going that way.
No, it's okay.
To be fair, as a
Did it again. I'm double fucking.
To be fair,
Fuck me.
drink, everybody drink.
Ah!
Y'all should not have told me that.
Oh my god, it's gonna happen at the shop now.
What the heck?
There's your monkey
Is that
pilot.
from?
I don't
that is-
goddamn know.
That is not a competition
I
mustache.
don't know. I don't know. But here's what I'm pretty happy to say. God bless the new monkey because
Well, see that one. No, that's plaid
There's-
with gray.
There's
Yeah.
one that's dark gray. It's-
Right there.
No, the
No,
tank.
Yeah,
black,
see?
black and
Black
dark.
and,
Yeah, that's
black and
nice.
dark gray. That one's nice.
really,
Yeah,
It's a really.
I do say
That
That's
one's
a really
nice.
good color.
That one's really nice. I saw one of those at Iron Pony.
oh, they added Iron Pony.
Oh, was that the? Oh, wait, no. Where's the Kimco?
Oh, so they're doing yellow frame, red frame, black frame.
Oh, nice. But what's the 2024 DAX up there?
So the Dax, I did post. That's the Dax E, which goes 14 miles an hour,
So it's just like the Piaggio behind me.
pretty much. Yeah, the Piaggio goes 42 2.
No.
43.
The-
Oh, the
the gray
Piaggio
and
1.
yellow.
Piaggio 1 active.
Yeah.
About 30.
active.
30.
Hey, since you brought up these small bikes, I
Yeah.
posted this thing today. Did you see? Tomos made a thing called the Racer something 2. It's like a 2-stroke Grom. Did you see that?
No,
Tomos?
no, it's not. It's nothing like I.
You know what it is?
I was a Tomos dealer at
Okay.
the
Yeah.
end of the Tomos run.
Yeah.
And the problem with Tomos is they all have what is the A? It's not the A35, it's the A50 motor.
Okay.
A5E or something. I can't remember.
All right.
And they're kind of crap. Like even the moped kids will be like, nah, they're kind of crap because you can't do a whole.
So why
lot
do they
to
call
them.
it a racer? It was just
Because
a marketing
that's just
thing.
the design it was. You could
It adds
get the.
horsepower.
Thank you so much, Chris.
There
Look
was
at that ice cube.
the
It's magical.
Tomos
I thought there was
Revival.
no ice cream in there.
No, that was it. This.
No.
Oh
What I'm
yeah,
saying
I
is
know.
the Tomos Revival was basically the same thing, but the Racer, which is what you're talking about, was the Tomos Revival with different plastic.
And no pedals or anything.
Well,
right?
no, it had pedals.
No,
Yeah,
this
the
one
The one
doesn't.
you posted had pedals,
Did it?
Revival can come both
can-
ways.
you
So
can
you can
buy either way.
You can buy them
Okay.
either way. Yeah.
but
That was the trick with the Revival.
Right.
And the Revivals were okay.
they were.
Okay.
I can't say they're cool.
Hold on. I'm going to put on my fucking armor right now. For a moped,
Yeah.
they were not. They were less fucking hateable.
Okay.
Right.
They were almost.
You want anything else?
Oh yeah, sure.
I can't believe we're having this conversation. Okay. Here's the thing. I will usually only talk about
Yeah, but that's
fuck mopeds in general. So just generally speaking, fuck mopeds.
Right.
Fuck mopeds. No, fuck mopeds. If you're not 14 years old, fuck mopeds.
You know
if
what?
you're 14, that's great. That's all you can ride. The law says so. That's great. Go out and just ride the fuck out of your moped because you're 14 years old. But the day you turn 16, I do not want to fucking hear about a goddamn moped again because you're over 16. You need to give that shit up, right? So the down and dirty of it is the Tomos Revival is to mopeds what the Harley Moo Glide was to the Softail. Yeah. It's just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it is bonkers bullshit. But it's got ape hangers and look at it. It's just it's just a series of bad designs.
You're
It's just
the Racer. I get it.
yeah.
I know. Where is it? It's not even
Yeah.
here.
Eh,
No.
That was Katana.
yeah.
I don't know.
But
Yeah. If you're doing a 49cc motor that has 18,000 RPM and has 10-speed gearbox and you're racing in a 49cc class, okay, that's fine. My hat's off to you. But if you're riding a fucking moped and you're an adult, then
it down.
let's like, did you go to work in a Power Wheels car? Right?
well, now New Orleans has 27 scooter groups,
Yeah.
and 25 of them are LGBT primarily because somebody broke up with somebody. And somebody else broke up,
right.
blah, blah, blah,
Right.
blah.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
yeah.
they have one major moped club,
Yeah.
gang, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And literally all they do is sit around, spend massive amounts of money on kits,
Yeah.
and barbecue.
Yeah.
And the reality is, the barbecues are really cool.
Look, man,
So
I hung out with
they're
Hollywood
getting it.
Holt.
They're getting it
Yeah.
where we used to be back in the 90s. Thank you, sir. Where we used to be in the 90s, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But they're just using mopeds because Vespas are too expensive. And let's face it, they
When
only-
Cameron bought his Yamaha 50 Virago,
Yeah.
I did not applaud him. I did not say, well done, Cam. Well done. I've always wanted one of those. I'm so glad you were able to score one. Just went, it's a YSR cruiser version.
Where's the pedals? I don't see pedals.
Nope.
No,
I don't
not
even
on-
know
not on that one.
which one
You
is
could
that,
buy
buddy.
You could buy the A. What is it? I think that's the A.
What's the model?
This is the 2016 Tomos Racing TT.
Yeah. Okay, I know what that is.
You could buy that motor with or without pedals.
No, when you're talking about
But it was a Grom before, or same time as Groms, right? I mean,
A
like,
little bit before, because Tomos was out of business before this happened.
there
Before they
are
were-
a lot of unacknowledged not Hondas that have this exact same bodywork, and that Targa gas tank that's on there is the same gas tank that Tomos put on
Oh, yeah.
900.
That headlight is
Yeah.
that headlight and fairing is off
Yeah.
another Tomos that I put together a million
They're
times.
just they're out there, but
Well, okay. Since we're
I
on
just
this-
never saw one. I just
since
like,
we're on
what is this thing?
Since we're on this, show him the Derby variant.
yeah, the dirt. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the there's in the market.
If you want to talk about crazy mopeds, that's not it.
That's not it.
I still want a Derby.
Yeah.
I want a
It's,
derby
it's that one. Looks like the there you go.
Yeah, it's that.
dirt bike.
These things are
The giraffe of
at
scooters.
least. Oh
It is.
yeah,
It
yeah.
literally is. But it's,
Yeah, yeah.
that's if you're gonna be a moped tuner. That's the moped you want.
That's
to
the moped all the moped tuners
Oh, yeah.
want because it's got the real tall. It's got the tall wheels, so
Yeah.
it's still authentic. Whereas the TT has small wheels,
Yeah,
12-inch
right.
wheels.
Yep.
Right. So moped people want to stay loyal to their 16-inch, 14-inch or bigger wheels all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But again, my point is this: I know that I'm going to catch some shit on it. I had a Puch Magnum Mark II,
I did too.
UPS edition, and silver edition. So fuck y'all. I
had a
paid my
silver
dues.
one.
I've
There you go.
had all,
And a
I've had all
Tomos
the
2-speed.
Hobbits.
Okay.
I've owned all
and
the
I will be
Hobbits.
happy to tell you all. There's no place for mopeds in my world.
No, not
Can
anymore.
you give a break to the PC50 though?
To the PC50. Why?
Because it's cool.
I disagree.
He still wants that SSR thing.
I mean, look, again,
Look. Now I will say, if anybody has a Moto Guzzi Robin, I've always wanted one.
just because it's a Moto
look
Guzzi.
at everybody.
Just because it's a
You guys all
Moto
make fun of
Guzzi.
shit, but you all have
And a
fetishes
Lambretta-
for
and a
small
Lambretta
shit
48.
anyways.
It's
Do we
a
have any,
Lambretta
mail?
48.
The PC50 was a 4-stroke.
Okay, look at the back of this motorcycle.
I don't even understand what's going
It's a
on.
sex-
Oh
That's
God,
fucking-
that's
No, that's a
that's
P50. Isn't that a P50?
Oh God,
That's a-
There's a guy that shows up at Barber every year. with
PC50
that
has a
bike.
motor up front and a gas tank underneath like that.
Yeah, no,
So what's driving? What
it
it?
drives the rear wheel. Right, it's a direct drive.
Like that.
Now we have his
Jet propulsion.
Yeah. No, there's a guy at Barber shows up literally every year with that exact same bike, and they drive. It's a direct drive on the rear wheel. It's wild.
Again,
Now.
Sorry, I
since
just thought
we're
it was
on
a Grom looking
Since we're on
thing.
this line, Phil, how do you feel about the SR Express?
I can't believe we're doing this. This
Let's go.
is just. I'm sorry. All of these things are things that you're forced to ride when you're not legally allowed to have a motorcycle.
I like that thing.
Right? It's the Honda SR Express. They're amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
it's still
it's
a
not
Honda
that-
Spree motor.
Jesus Christ! So I'm gonna say the word gyro, and y'all are gonna be like, "Oh, you win."
Hey, there was one in Cincinnati. Like I told y'all a couple
No, but
weeks
that
ago,
one you
but
still need a license for, though.
Right?
You need a license for this too. No pedals.
That's what I'm saying. You need a license
Right.
for that.
That looks
So
like a Power Wheel.
What's the point?
Do you know what this is?
Oh, there it is.
The Urban Express. I just
Urban
won all the
Express.
arguments. No, it's a stupid fucking bike. It is a stupid bike.
Oh,
Do you know the only place?
I'm not going to get the hate mail.
The only place that you look cool on this?
Is it at a bar in New Orleans? When
Barber.
No, you don't.
You ride this at Barber. 96 old men are going to be like,
Nobody looks cool at Barber.
okay, that's true. All right,
What
Mid
about a
Ohio.
Solo.
It's a mid. It's a Mid Ohio
I
thing.
made a mistake bringing up the 2-stroke Grom.
It is
so.
all of this stuff.
We have to have something to talk
All
about.
this stuff, all this stuff, all this 49cc shit is all just
You
meant.
set Phil off.
Oh my
so this
god!
is.
I don't care what you say. I'm getting a Solo as soon as I can get a Solo.
Fine. Again, I'm just stopped caring at this point.
Hey, John, take us.
Fucking hell.
Uh,
Ouch.
We're at like 4
Anyway,
hours and
slow
30
and take
minutes.
no chances on a moped. Please don't.
Okay, from one of our Patreons. Who farted loud enough in episode 414 for the mics to pick it up?
That would be
Never
John.
mind. It's probably hard to guess which of the assumed constant farting in a room where you were in 2 weeks ago that happened to get past the noise filter. Yep, that's exactly right. Fair enough.
It was John because he
Yeah.
just.
He destroyed the whole room.
No, it was, that was
again.
horrendous.
He
I think he
broke
got
the fucking place.
Well, he went to the doctor the next day and got an exam.
And he went to Roto Rooter.
All right, here we go. Also, why are you all asking for hate mail when you apparently have a new burning ball of rage on the show? Will you please ask Tom what Harley Davidson did to hurt him? How long has his grudge been going on? Is he going to be at Vintage Days? I thought about just buzzing him thought about just buzzing by him over and over in the campground, but I think a therapy session would actually be better. Grab a glass of bourbon around the campfire and let him get it all out. Perhaps a group session. Maybe he'd be willing to hear me out on why I love my Harleys. This is the guy who showed up on his Softail and helped us build our camp.
Yeah.
3 days later, came by and helped us tore down an entire fucking camp.
There are good people
and
that own
rode
Harleys.
through the mud all week long.
There are good people that own Harleys.
On
I
his
still don't know
Softail.
why they own Harleys.
Okay.
But there are still good people that own Harleys.
I wrote Thomas Special. I think if he bought a Sportster for $1,200, he'd be singing a different tune. He wrote, okay, I'm entertained and I can laugh. He's very knowledgeable, just like all of you. And it's just been every fucking episode with this guy.
They made a really good bike in 56.
I plan on riding mine out again, so maybe I'll let him take it for a spin if he wants.
Oh, no, please don't.
Insider Vintage Days question. If I signed up for a hair scramble.
Yes.
Oh, the room got quiet.
Listening.
If I signed up for a hair scramble or something, can I get into the regular campground on Thursday and just not show up for the scramble? Honestly, I don't know. That's a brilliant idea.
No, we've talked about this. We don't talk about getting in early club.
Thank you. Maybe you can sign up for a hair scramble. Maybe people who sign up for the hair scramble do get into the place at on Thursday.
Look. Let's get it out in the open. Harley Davidson is a really good
We were talking about hair scrambles.
T-shirt company.
Again, I have 3 Harley Davidsons in my garage.
Yep.
I don't own a Harley Davidson t-shirt.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
I defy their marketing platform based on your assessment because I own a Road King Police Edition, I own a Springer, and I own a military prototype.
Yeah, but you told us how much you paid for all of them, and Harley hates you.
Well, no. They only love people that do the 60-month or the 72.
Right.
I'll buy any T-shirt.
I
as long as
got
it's on
them all.
sale.
They're good.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's on the clearance rack.
I do love the XRs. The XR 750 and the XR 1000. I'm not going to lie. I like the flat track.
They have stuff.
They do.
They make
They do.
bikes.
I don't know. I still want one. I can't afford one. That's the whole thing. No, I'm serious. I'd buy a Harley if I could get it. I mean, if I could find one that was, I just would like it just because it's something different.
Fine.
I like every bike. I like all the bikes out there.
They ride like an ironing board, but I will take an XLCR if anybody wants to give me one.
I'm going to say one of the best motorcycles I've ever bought in my life, hands down, has been my Road King Police. My FLHP has, and it's 103 cubic inches. It's fuel injected.
It's a
It
nice
is one of
looking bike.
my favorite motorcycles I've ever owned. It is the best at being a Harley that any Harley I've ever owned is.
That's the police edition. They kind
It
of
is.
are supposed to be.
It is.
It's like the BMW.
It's the seats in the right place. The handlebars in the right place.
The BMW RTP is
now.
What's that?
Now he's going to start ripping on BMWs.
I'm gonna bring him
Then he's
back.
going to rip on Hondas.
2 hours and 32 minutes.
You're just a hater.
Join your local Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Please remember, whenever possible, ride fast and take chances. Bum, 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 bum.